we're live on the Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast. I am Austin Howell, your host for the evening, and joining me tonight is my fellow Mark, Richie Goodacre. How's it going, Richie?
Yeah, not too bad. I swear I was about to sneeze right at one there. I'm like, oh no, and it went away. So that's good. Oh, good. So yeah, buddy, Danhausen cursing me.
I think he's cursing everybody because like JPO's not feeling good. Like you were here, and then your internet started crapping out, and then you had to like jump on your phone. You have that. I have had something like that. I remember there was a movie hero stream I was getting started, and it was like right near the end of the our like tournament fight intro video, and I started having like one of those random coughing fits. You ever just get like a coughing fit out of nowhere? You just start choking on air.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just like. and so the freaking video's over, and I like have to put the overlay on and mute myself for like an extra 15 seconds because I'm coughing my head off. But yeah, always in the best timing, of course. But thank you to everybody who's joining us. We certainly appreciate it. We're gonna run down, but the show will go on. JPO's just gonna sit out tonight, but I'm sure he'll be back next week with our predictions. But yeah, we're gonna do something fun in between. We're gonna cover some news real quick, do a little fantasy scoring updates, and then we're going to talk about SummerSlam. We're going to kind of get in the mood of SummerSlam here. And we spun a wheel of SummerSlam last week for those who saw. And we spun SummerSlam 2002, which is a really good show. So that was fun to watch. A show that I've seen. But actually, what's funny is I've seen the three kind of big matches from that show, Richie, a lot of times, but I hadn't seen like the mid card in a while, and watched the show all the way through. But it's still a good show. I
Whereas I think I've seen this like 10 times, and probably this is the second time I think this year because I watched it for Malcolm's thing.
Oh, did you really? Okay, so there you go. So there should be, but hey, it's a good show, so it's not bad. Easy to watch. We'll talk about it and we'll get into it. Just give a quick kind of fantasy update. A very slow week for fantasy scores just in general, Richie. I mean, literally, like I scored like 30 points. You had 30 points. Rhonda had 20 points. JPO had like 25 points. I mean, like there wasn't much wrestling on the programs this week between the two shows. I think everybody's just kind of laying low either for Saturday night's main event or SummerSlam. And it seemed like a lot of the B people were kind of like wrestling throughout the whole thing. And then even Raw only had 3 matches with that gauntlet, with that Chad Gable one being the main event of that one. So there wasn't a lot of wrestling to go around. And then we had 2 on both shows. Jimmy Uso wrestled Royce Keys. So, okay. That was a double match between the 2 shows. And nobody has Jimmy Uso. So, just not a lot of points to go around. But a quick update. Richie, unfortunately, you got 1590. You're about 350 points away from JPO, so I think it's kind of mathematically impossible for you to win. Sorry about that. If there was a knockout in roster, you'd be knocked out at this point before.
And I'm so glad that there was a big debut right after I traded after I swapped someone out for someone else. That was cool. Thank you, Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin, of all people, freaking Baron Corbin, right? Exactly. Weird one there. I'm not doing much better though. I got 1785. Again, I'm still a good 150 behind JPO, who's in the lead. So it would take a miracle for me to catch up, and it's probably not going to happen, by SummerSlam. Ronda's got 1835 and JPO at 1920. So, still a little bit of a spread. We were all kind of neck and neck for a little while there, after like a pay-per-view or two. And, now it's just like now. So, you do have or actually you don't have a swap, Richie. So I'm sorry to say you don't. I do, but I don't know. Like, is Baron Corbin worth picking up right before SummerSlam? Like, he doesn't even have like a match yet.
He's probably not going to wrestle until SummerSlam.
I mean, I'm sure he will, but you know what? I've got one, right? So I might as well burn it right before SummerSlam, right?
Yeah. He'll probably. I reckon it's going to be a triple threat match with him, Trick,
and and who? I'm sorry, you cut out for a second.
Him, Trick, and Carmelo.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'll do something else just as a last minute thing, because Jey Uso has a match, but it's only just like a nothing happening 6-man tag. I have one, and since you don't have one, but I do, I'm going to drop Jey Uso and pick up Chad Gable because nobody has Chad Gable right now.
I really should have last time. And I
Yeah.
it only just dawned on me when we were going through the gauntlet. And I'm like, yeah, because I had El Grande Americana.
Yeah, you did, but unfortunately that doesn't count because we didn't know that was Chad Gable, of course.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I should have probably picked him up last week because I had a feeling they were going to push him, towards the IC title thing. But I can at least pick him up, and he's in all likelihood he might win the IC title at SummerSlam. So
Oh,
maybe I'll at least have that and get a title win. So we'll see.
yeah.
As a last
Yeah.
push. So I might as well. He's the only guy I'm kind of looking at because Gunther has a match. Trick Williams has a match. Cody has a match. I mean, a couple of my people have matches already. Roman has a match. I don't know what the hell is Jordan. Where's Jordan Grace? I don't know. That's weird.
I hear I don't know that for the sources are reliable, but I keep hearing that they don't know what to do with Jordan Grace, which seems wild to me.
It's a women's division. How do you not just let her wrestle? How do you not know what to do with her?
Yeah, she's and she's muscly. She's a muscly badass. It should be easy to push Jordan Grace. Just make her a badass. I don't know. Make a heel. Make her run through people.
Yeah. It seems like she'd be an easy foil for, like a Tiffany Stratton or something, even for the U.S. title or something, like it seems like a it's not like she has to be immediately in the, main title picture, but you could easily have her go up against Tiffany. Like, that'd be a pretty easy feud, but oh well. So yeah, but whatever. I'm not gonna worry about that for now. So I'll just pick up Chad Gable and then see what happens. So there you go. And JPO's fine. He's in first place, so he's not gonna want to swap. Anyways, so yeah, we'll get into the news. And I think like you said, we did have sort of a re-debut, Richie, and I'm sure you have a lot to say about Baron Corbin. So go ahead. He's back.
Yeah, he just came back. I might have picked him up. I mean, I had talked about that it was looking likely, on MLW, they were doing that storyline where he's having contract issues, and then they replaced him with Josh Bishop. So yeah, but I didn't really. I thought that I thought it'd be a couple of months down the track, but no, he showed up very quickly, and yeah, and yeah. Could have decent reaction. So back in the fold. He's always they're always hiring him to a point. It always annoyed me. I didn't hate Baron Corbin, but it was just they'd push him and push him, but then are you gonna get into that world title picture? Nah. Just if you're gonna push him, why are you so gun shy?
Yeah, you know what a good comparison is on this show we watched, the O2, of a guy who was always on the cusp of being in the main event, but they never quite pulled the trigger. Is Test.
Yeah.
Test would be in that obstacle for a little while for somebody, or he'd win the immunity battle royal and then the 01 Survivor Series, or he'd win an IC title or something, or tag team titles, whatever, or be the big man in a faction as we saw tonight, and wrestle big guys. But yeah, he never quite turned the corner on that. Was he even ECW champion on
no, he wasn't. That's what I was thinking. I'm he could have. JR even says on commentary on the show, he's I wouldn't be surprised if he, has gold around his waist at some point. And I'm he wasn't even ECW champion. He could have been ECW champion.
I mean, freaking Chavo was ECW champion, I'm just saying, I could buy Test being the champion on ECW on Sci-Fi. That would have been fine.
Vince McMahon was ECW champion.
Yeah, Test was at least an established guy at that time. If he was maybe not the first one, but maybe the second or third one or something like that. Yeah. I mean, who cares? There was a lot of goofy ECW champions around that time. So, we'll talk about it when we get there. But yeah, Baron Corbin, he's one of those guys that, I mean, he's back, but we'll see again. Yeah, how far they push him, or if he just kind of gets lost in the mid card again. That might happen.
Yeah, I think they're calling him they trademarked the Nomad. So it's sort of like the Lone Wolf. It is name Nomad. So yeah, sort of almost like the Drifter, like Elias. So Nomad.
So a nomad, according to the dictionary, Richie, is a person or member of a community who has no fixed permanent home and moves from place to place or place to place.
Yeah.
So is that Baron Corbin? Does that mean he's just going to show up in random promotions? He's going to show up in TNA too, or something like that? Is that what he's going to do?
Just gonna we're just gonna show up randomly. He'll be like he'll show up at Power Slap. You're like, what are you doing here? And
Hey, speaking of Power Slap, two wrestlers lost on Power Slap. We can talk about that.
Yeah. I forgot to bring that up, but yeah, that is news on that. Yeah. I actually, I wouldn't make a point of this because I'm not a huge fan of the show, but I wanted to watch that fight, but I ended up watching the whole event, and so Jake Hager got knocked out by former TNA wrestler Mahabali Shira. And I watched it. It was, he had a good few slaps in, and then he got cocky. He put his arms down. He's like, yeah, and then Mario Bali slapped him, and he went
down. Yeah.
Oh shit! And Rhea Ripley and Buddy Matthews in the crowd, and they got their reaction. They're like, oh, yeah, that was yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah, but I don't know, man. I feel like even when when Jake Hager came out, he did the We the People thing, but for some reason, I don't know what happened. For some reason, Tony Khan lives rent free in that guy's head because he also went fuck Tony Khan. I'm like, what did he do to you? Anyway, but yeah, but anyway, it was fun to say. Yeah, it's just like I do like watching those kind of montages of like cocky fighters sort of just getting
knocked out. Yeah, those are fun well, especially in MMA. It's fun in MMA, not so much in slap fighting, but MMA is fun. Yeah, when a guy's like all up in somebody's face during a weigh-in, or just overly taunting, or gets cocky during a fight. I think the greatest one ever though is, I don't know the fighter's name, but do you remember the black guy fighter who was constantly taunting and even dancing in the ring, and then he kept doing like the goofy wind up shots and stuff like that, like Apollo Creed and Rocky, and then he stopped to like do a shimmy and like wind up, and the guy just fucking knocked him
out. That he's in UFC at the moment. That's Michael Venom Page, MVP. UK guy. Yeah, it was in Bellator. He went to I think he was in a shimmy. He got he got kicked in the leg, and then he went to go back up, and he just got hit right in the face and knocked out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun. There's there's another example of that. It's not really totally wrestling related, but there's another example of that this weekend too, with Conor McGregor blowing his knee out.
The conspiracy theory behind that though is that he like injured his leg during around the weigh-ins, or there was workout or something like that.
Or even I heard like when he was walking out, getting his shoes off.
Yeah, because then when he walked out like to the ring, he was really stiff and like wasn't taunting or jumping around or nothing. Like his leg was already hurt, so he just decided like, well, I'll just do a big leaping kick and make it look like I pulled something or whatever, and then I'll just quit, and then I'll still get paid my money. You know what I mean? Like I still gotta technically have the fight, right? But have it go nowhere.
That was worth going all the way into the city for. And then as soon as he slipped over, I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I even saw some streamer like watching the thing, like one of those like reactors, and just being like, he literally, it was funny on the thing. He was like, they were about to start the fight. He's like, oh shit, I gotta get my phone charger. I'll be right back. And like he came back and he was like, wait, what happened? It's over. what shit. So yeah. Like you said, could have happened to a nicer person, of course.
Yeah, they couldn't person. But it was fun time. But yeah.
And just the other power slap thing, by the way, is he's not as well known, but a guy I've ref for many times in Florida who went viral when he made his debut, but Stunt Marshall,
I thought I was going to ask him, JP, if he had known him, but yeah, because I know.
I do know him. I've ref for he's refed, or he's wrestled in my USWA promotion, kind of my home base promotion in Jacksonville. He was like our champion for a while. Yeah, so I know that guy very well. So when he went viral, I was like, that's stud, because he walks around like that all the time. It's not just a gimmick he does for the shows. He walks around like that even in his job and shit like that. It's
like Hulk Hogan. Like
yeah. He just does. But he went viral with that. He had 1 or 2 fights, and then he got knocked out as well, unfortunately.
Yeah. He had a good look on his face when he got knocked out, though. I was like, yeah. No, I thought like because he was born in Jacksonville, I was thinking you or JP.
Yes.
I'm like, I was going to look on Cage Match to see if he had any like real pro wrestling accolades. Or
if you look on there and you see United States Wrestling Alliance or USWA, most likely I ref any of those matches, most of them.
Yeah.
So
I think it's gonna be probably just because it's just easy to I think the pipeline of wrestlers or even indie wrestlers going through there, it's going to continue. Even because I don't watch Power. I'm not a huge fan of Power, so I don't watch it that often. But you hear things, so I didn't realize that. Like that Mahabali Shia, it was his. I think it was his second fight because they mentioned that he lost. I don't know if he got knocked out, but he lost to Lance Anoa'i, the former the Anoa'i that. It's not going to be in WWE anytime soon because he got released recently. But yeah. So I think they do use a lot of wrestlers. So
yeah. So just a couple of news notes. We'll run down. So we got some new matches announced for various upcoming shows. So I'll run those down for everybody. But also, I just announced for a new show, the Petty Rivalry continues. Richie, I don't know if you saw this about.
This is funny. This is even more petty.
This is way petty because
it's in the same town.
This same town, yeah. So AEW All Out, as we talked about, is confirmed for Chicago. I forget the actual date. It's in September, right? Whatever it is. Okay. It's like September 26th or something. I don't even remember. But whatever it is, they're running Chicago, and then just announced like today, they're going to run a AAA Worlds Collide event on the same day in Chicago, which is ridiculous. Which again is under the umbrella, so I'm going to count it as petty rivalry nonsense. Yeah,
it's definitely petty rivalry nonsense. Yeah, no, that tracks. I don't. Yeah, that it's. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's just designed to. Obviously, I think they know that Worlds Collide's not going to like outdraw All Out by any means, but it's designed to take away numbers from them, and it's like, but it's not. It's just so silly. I mean, it's like you could at least be a bit more subtle with it.
Hey, on a positive note, hidden within that, All Out, the September 26th that it's on, I just looked, is a Saturday, so it's back to a Saturday show. Yeah. Oh, yay! So you can watch it with us too, Richie. Yay!
Yay! Yeah, that would be good. That would be cool. Yes. I guess speaking of like venue announcements, I think they announced that Survivor Series will be in Houston at like some baseball field. There's some baseball
probably
field.
Wherever the Houston Astros play. That's the baseball team, so I'd imagine so. Yeah.
Because I think they were going to announce something. I think that it was going to be some that there was going to be some. It was going to be an international location, but that fell through, and then it was going to be somewhere else, but that fell through. But it's going to be in Houston, so I'm assuming War Games. I'm assuming maybe it's got something to do with maybe I don't even know what the storyline is with. We'll get to it. I don't even know what the storyline is with Solo and Jacob Fatu. I don't understand this whole.
I don't get it.
Solo Jacob Fatu, thing, and like is he babyface? I don't know.
The answer is yes, as usual. A babyface or a heel? Yes.
Yeah. But when he's teaming with, I don't know. The enemy of my enemy is your friend kind of thing, I guess. But I don't understand this. I could see that being like a War Games thing. But yeah, we'll get to that. It's weird. So that's going to be So that. I think it's going to be a regular thing with Survivor Series being in a sort of a more a kind of different environment, sort of like because it was in Wrigley Field one time, right? Was it Wrigley Field? Or it was a baseball area at some point.
Well, I mean, we saw AEW obviously All In last year run, baseball stadium in Texas. So, up in Dallas. So, it can be for a cool venue. If you remember, WrestleMania 19, which we reviewed in Seattle, was at their baseball stadium, the Mariners
Yeah,
Stadium. So,
yeah.
it can be filmed, pretty cool when they do it right.
I believe AEW recently had a house show, like some baseball, like a baseball. It was like
Yeah, it was like dugout something or whatever, or the day at the day in the dugout or something like that, whatever it was called. Yeah, some
yeah,
kind of baseball but I think it was like more like a house show, right? It was like after a
it,
baseball game.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It featured a lot of people that you haven't seen on TV in a while. So I was like, oh, let's do a bullet.
Speaking of that, I heard a rumor. I guess Alvarez and Dave were talking about how Keith Lee might just be retired. No, for real. We
That
just may
wouldn't
not see
stop.
him ever again. Wouldn't shock me that he may have actually he may just be done permanently. So,
Yeah,
yeah, and he and with his girlfriend, what was it,
me and him,
Mia
me and him.
Yim? Yeah, they're broken up now anyway. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I didn't realize they got divorced last year. I didn't realize.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Big E is actually Big E is married or married to Medium's sister.
Mm.
Yeah, but yeah. So I don't know. It'd be yeah. I think it'll always be a mystery. He might come out with like he might do a Chris Van Vliet interview one day and be like, "We'll explain what everything."
Yeah, maybe. I could see that. Like at some point, Fleet gets him, and because of course, if he's going to do anything, he'll do Fleet show because it seems like that's what everybody does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, we can kind of cover a few things as I cover this. So we do have a Saturday night's main event this Saturday at Madison Square Garden, and the main event has been announced. But as far as the other matches, we got Paige and Bree, who I can't believe they're still champions. Honestly, I thought that was going to be like a short thing,
Yeah.
and they've been together and just wrestling like damn near every week. I should have
Yeah.
like come to think of it, like I was gonna pick up a woman. I should have picked up Paige or Brie Bella, and they would have been defending the titles left and right.
I thought because both of them to me, especially Brie,
Yeah,
brings part time to me. But
yeah,
yeah, and Paige, I thought they'd take it easy with her because of a neck. But I guess I should have picked them up. I guess. Yeah.
yeah. I should have picked up one of them at least, yeah, something. But yeah, there you go. So we got them wrestling Fatal Influence for the women's tag title. We have Bailey taking on Lyra.
I
What's
thought
this
it
new
was
gimmick? What's this new gimmick for Lyra? What is this? Is she homeless? What are we doing?
it's just she's like the being like apparently her life was being held together by being in a tag team, and now she voluntarily split it up, and now she's I don't know, maybe the checks aren't coming in the mail anymore. I don't know.
Okay, it's so weird. Baron Corbin's back. Does she just take over the Sad Corbin gimmick and now she's Sad Lyra? Is that what it is?
She looks like she looks like Nikki Cross like
Yeah,
when
yeah. They got rid of Nikki Cross and she just took Nikki Cross's Wyatt family gimmick because the same makeup, same clothing. I swear, Richie, if she wins the lottery and turns it all around, I quit wrestling. I'm done.
it's laughing Lyra.
Yeah. So, anyways, that whatever that is, that's happening. Danhausen and JD McDonough, of course, they've advertised Danhausen all over the show because it's Madison Square Garden, of course, with the Knicks, thing. He's all over the place. So, I think he'll probably even wrestle in a damn Knicks jersey. If I had to put money on it. So
that's another guy that I probably should have picked up. I just thought he wouldn't wrestle that much.
yeah, he's kind of wrestled more than you thought, but not as often as if you look at it, not that much, but he's still won every match he's had. So I'm sure he'll probably win this one as well. And then your main event is just a tag team match. It's CM Punk and Cody Rhodes taking on Gunther and Sami Zayn. So just like one of those random here's our main event, guys. We'll just put them in a tag team all against each other.
Yeah, everybody doesn't get along.
Yeah.
they're still sort of building up. It seems they're still building up Gunther versus Nick Aldis. It feels like that is the direction. It
I
does.
think that's where they're going. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
I know. I know Brian Alvarez ranted about it, but I don't mind it necessarily if it's it's still a big deal. For Nick Aldis, it's like first to have Gunther be that. I know he's not in the picture, but like a part of the picture, but it's still like a noteworthy match to have. Like Gunther, like wrestle like a GM and a guy who hasn't actually wrestled in the company before, but a known name. So I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't mind it necessarily.
Well, then after he can move over to Raw and wrestle Adam Pearce, who was also a wrestler. So
Yeah, cool. And
he can start retiring former NWA champions, whoever's around that's had the NWA belt. That'll work, right?
yeah, and then in the next pay per view, he could take on Robert Stone from NXT.
Yeah. So, just running down what we've got on tap for SummerSlam. We've only still got 6 matches total, so there's still time to add matches because obviously with the 2-night format, they need to add like at least 6 more matches, if not 7. But we got, of course, Liv Morgan and Io Sky for the Women's World Title rematch. We got Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar Hell in a Cell rematch. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Infinite rematch.
Infinite match, but it's 14 years in the making. Did you know that?
Oh, of course.
They've wrestled at SummerSlam before.
Yeah, no. Penta versus Chad Gable.
Yeah, not really. Yeah, I guess not really a rematch.
Not really. If he wrestled El Grande Americano at some point, technically not, but maybe. But it still should be a good match though. Looking forward to that. We got, of course, CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, which is the biggest match they could have booked for this. I do think so. I thought they would maybe wait for Mania with that, but I think they desperately needed a big main event for this. What's
I
going
think
on.
initially they were probably going to, but they're like, fuck it.
Yeah, we kind of need this. And then we've got LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys against the Bloodline team of Jacob Fatu and the Usos. So,
that's like team random. Yeah, it's like
super random. LA Knight, Solo, and Royce Keys. Yeah, I'm like, how did Royce Keys get roped into this? What does he have to do with anything?
Apparently, they're telling a story that Royce Keys and Solo like close friends, and Royce Keys and Jacob Fatu are close friends. I'm like, I didn't know this lore. Like,
Yeah, when have we seen that on television? I didn't know that.
But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. At least they're sort of getting more of a character over, I guess, or it's like he he sort of. It's very similar to Jacob Fatu, where he came from nothing, and now he's it's a big time. So I don't know. I don't know if they're angling for like maybe like Jacob Fatu and Royce Keys to be a tag team down the line, which I wouldn't hate, but like it's just it is a bit random. Yeah, it's like and on both like Saturday Night's main event and this one, you got like a tag team match where the competitors don't really get along.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what's funny about that is they don't really do that much anymore. But remember back in the day in like WWE, they used to do that all the time. Like if there was some like, big match coming up at like a pay-per-view, they would pit people against, pair people up in a tag team, right before the pay-per-view. They used to do that thing all the time. I used to see it on Raw constantly. Where like, the week before the pay-per-view, let's say, I don't know if
John Cena and Batista wrestling each other will tag together.
We'll tag together, yeah.
Yeah,
it would be like Rock is wrestling Kurt Angle. They'll tag team against Undertaker and Kane, or something, whatever.
Yeah.
Just random, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Or the Rock and the Rock and Jericho are facing off. Those tag together, and they even want to tag. I think they even want to tag titles at one point.
Yeah. So, no, we see that a lot. They just haven't done it in a while, but I used to see that stuff all the time. Switching over to the AEW side of things, they finally kind of starting announcing some matches for Redemption, which more and more seems like we don't need to do this pay-per-view. We could have just left off this pay-per-view and just kept building towards All In.
From what I read, right, I think I don't know. Like, apparently MJF was pushing for the title match to be on Dynamite as opposed to Redemption, and like he's, I guess, I guess he's going to be like away for a little bit. He's still factored into all in plans, but maybe he's filming a movie. But yeah, the whole idea of calling it redemption was because of Kenny Omega getting his that makes sense, getting his redemption.
Yeah.
But no. But no. To me, you'll get to it. But Kenny Omega versus Kevin Knight is a Dynamite match.
That is no 100%. If they wrestled on Dynamite, like some special Dynamite, like one of these goofy, Dynamite specials, yeah, like I would have no problem with that as a main event on a Dynamite. But yeah, like this is not a pay-per-view because it's going to be. We talked about AEW being predictable sometimes. That is the most absolutely predictable main event in the history of AEW, is it not? Maybe. I could scour the internet for 2 hours and not find a single person on the internet who thinks Kevin Knight is winning that title right before Hogan. No way.
Just making Tony Khan really likes him and wants to get him a shot in like a main event picture. But yeah, like it would be one thing, like if like if you giving him a push, it's fine. But he's also still a TNT champion, so it's like
yeah. Well, didn't they do that with wasn't Kyle Fletcher the TNT champion when he faced Moxley or something like at the same time, or somebody like, or
it was Hangman Page, but
Hangman Page, they did the same thing, and like nobody would like predicted Fletcher at all. So it's the same situation. Yeah, and again, if you had saved, if it was Kenny versus MJF, there would at least be a question of, do they go with MJF for Ospreay and All In, or do they go with kind of the the Tony Khan dream match sort of a thing, main event? There would at least be some unpredictability there with where they would go, and Kenny winning it in Canada would be a much bigger moment, and it would have at least been like a pay-per-view worthy main event, in my opinion.
No, it seems it's a strange one.
So we got Tekla versus Willow, which got announced a little while back. Again, a few more matches got announced for the national title. Mark Davis defending against Andrade. So there's a match there. And again, some of these matches on paper will be good matches. I don't doubt that there will be good wrestling, but again, there's not going to be any like real stakes on this show. It's just kind of a weird thing. Tommaso Ciampa and the Painkiller Chris Jericho,
the Painmaker or whatever it is. Yeah.
Painmaker, whatever he is.
I never. Maybe I need to watch more Japan. I've never understood like what's the difference in his character is. To me, he's just Jericho with some face paint. I don't understand. Is he a bit more?
I guess is it supposed to be like when Mick Foley became Cactus Jack occasionally?
Is he a bit more ruthless, or is that what?
Yeah, is it his version of Finn Balor's demon? Is that what this is? I don't know.
I don't know. The difference isn't as obvious as those two examples. So
but here's the thing: if he wants to inflict more pain, why is this match not like a no DQ or a street fight or something?
Yeah, you would think so, considering how the last match, the match on Bash, ended with like Tommaso Ciampa was about to drill him. They had to take
That's what I mean. Like, do like a street fight, right? Like, shouldn't it be natural? I mean, okay, we still have more time. Maybe they will make it a no DQ or a street fight or something before the show. We still have another week of TV, right? In theory. So maybe they'll make it. Yeah, that seems like a more, and especially since you don't currently like have any stipulation matches, you could easily have like a street fight on the show and that'd be fine. You don't have anything yet. So having like especially since it seemed like the feud was getting more violent, and naturally I hope maybe next week they announce the match and next week he'll challenge him to some kind of no DQ stipulation or something.
It seems weird that you would debut the Painmaker gimmick only to have a normal match.
Just to have our regular rules.
Yeah, it seems weird.
So we'll see. We'll see. Give it to next Dynamite. Maybe they'll cut a promo and do that. That's awesome. Like I said, Kenny Omega and Kevin Knight, of course, the most predictable match in AEW history as far as what's going to win. Kyle Fletcher versus Bandito. Again, should be a really good match. Should be a great match. that's a show stealer right there. Should be really good, but not much build to it. And then, Cage and Cope are going to defend again the titles against the Death Riders of Claudio and Pac. Again, I like Claudio and Pac, but does anybody think those guys are losing those titles before All In, before they like challenge the Young Bucks? Come on, man. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I wonder if this will probably this tie into another news. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they'll factor into all in the title picture, but mostly Machine Guns had put a video out on their YouTube channel where it was kind of they were being kind of comedic, but they're all having this like that they were signing contracts to these like this indie promotion somewhere like seems like fake, and then like they got a contract offer from a mystery promotion, and they were very excited, and then and it just so happens, and I think next week or the week after, AEW is going to be in Detroit. So I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure, they're going to be coming in soon, because a lot of the guys that got released, their no compete clause runs out soon, quite soon. So you'll probably see a bunch of people, a lot of movements happening between like maybe AEW, TNA.
And hey, keep in mind, in a couple of weeks, the New Day's 90 days is up.
Oh, and that they kind of subtly tease that too. I don't know.
Yeah.
On AEW, Young Bucks and Kenny Omega were wearing very New Day color T-shirts.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if I know they're talking about Cage and Cope and the Bucks to a degree, yes, but it could be a thing where maybe they announce that, but then it becomes like this big ladder schmoz with the New Day and Motor City Machine Guns getting added for Wembley. I could see that, because I know Tony Khan desperately wants to try to recreate like a TLC type of thing. And I know behind the scenes. And so I could definitely see like a 4-way tag team like ladder thing or something, at the paper. I could see that at all. And granted, adding them to a thing would add the star power. Like I think it does. Yeah.
Then that'd be, it would be, I'm hoping that's the case, because I think it'd be the worst kept secret in the world though that they're coming in, because they've been at least been teasing the New Day thing for that's pretty much a given. They're coming in. I'm looking forward to see what they do there. We should probably mention too, they did a vignette which I'm on Raw, which I'm pretty sure is Big Cass.
Well, and that was the news, is that somebody noticed that Big Cass was officially removed from the AEW roster page. I know they're not quick to usually update that roster page. Like, there's people on there again we haven't seen on TV in a long time, but Big Cass Big Bill, excuse me, is not on there anymore. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah, him and Enzo are incoming very, very soon.
The vignette said like the 3rd of August. So I don't know if it seemed to be just Cass. I don't know if it'd be weird if they both like were signed, but they did some stuff separately. I don't know. That'd be odd considering signing at the same time. But I mean,
that's the Raw after SummerSlam, so that might make sense.
That might make sense. I could see also. I mean, they don't always do this, but like sometimes after SummerSlam, they shake things up a bit. They sometimes like maybe move people over, call people up, and maybe debut people, make people make returns. So I think that makes sense. So it's either Big Cass on its own or End Zone Cass. It probably should be End Zone Cass. So
As far as call ups, could you see some NXT calls, maybe like a Tony D'Angelo or something like that?
Not yet. He's got to be soon. He's been there for quite a while. But I'm just not saying like who would. Because you got to, in order to call someone out, you got to have someone take his place as like that champion.
Well, I mean, but if you bump him up, if you bring in Mike Santana and he becomes,
that Mike Santana's good, because I don't mind I was gonna say I don't mind Evil, but I don't think he's like the guy.
Yeah.
He's all right, but like, Yeah.
But if you drop Mike Santana, he's already like main event level guy, especially in NXT. So
He could work. Oh, and if they bring in like it's rumored like Hiromu Takahashi,
yeah.
yeah, that also could work out as well. So yeah, uh, kind of wait and see. So, but yeah, Mike Santana would fit in well there in that spot, I think. Um, yeah, yeah, but
I was just looking to see if there was anybody else who was there who's been there for a while other than D'Angelo. It kind of seems like he's been the one that's been there for a minute, that
maybe some of the women, I mean, I expect maybe Lola Vice because she lost a title recently and she's been there for a little bit. So
yeah, Lola seems like because she's been all over that and AAA. I think she's ready to be, on the main roster. Like and it's not like she hasn't been on the main roster occasionally, on random SmackDowns and stuff like that. So
yeah,
she's known enough.
they've talked about Tatum Paxley because she lost. She had a title she lost recently, and they've talked about her being brought up. So, and she's gotten she's improved a lot. So I could see her being called up, soonish. Yeah, people like that. But
All right.
yeah.
Yeah, very much so. So we should see. Maybe we'll get a few things happening after SummerSlam, and hopefully some decent matches out of that. What else is going on? I don't have like a whole lot of other stuff, but I was kind of just running down those, and then a few of the little minor notes from the show. So, but yeah.
I'll just double check. I'm pretty sure the only other thing I have is oh yeah, I shut. Yeah. Just a shout out to good old JR. He's actually, I think, recently underwent brain surgery. So, I guess because it's been obviously kept a bit hush hush, but he seems to be confident about it. So, good luck to him. Ever since like his last pay per view appearance, I think he went to the hospital when he was there for like a couple of weeks. So, so hopefully he's on the mend. But yeah, he's had a rough go of it lately. Shout out to him. If you're looking for even more wrestling, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling is debuting on my AEW tonight. The Scott D'Amore's promotion. Scott D'Amore's promotion. With people like Stu Grayson, Giselle Shaw, who I believe he was dating Scott D'Amore. Not mistaken. People I've seen a few a bit of it. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling is pretty good, so check that out if you can. It's pretty. I don't know if Dark Side of the Ring debut made its premiere. I didn't make its premiere here, but I heard it was pretty decent. There was one weird thing where they I guess they didn't update their they didn't update their information because it said at the end it goes we reached out to Hulk Hogan but he declined to be in this.
Well, no shit.
No shit. Yeah, and the only other thing I have is he hasn't signed yet, but he could be. But Sammy Callahan's been working backstage in AEW since his TNA release. So and he's got a good mind for wrestling. So hopefully they hire him as an agent, or you might see him now and again in the ring. Maybe not, but maybe. But I think he's more sort of assuming backstage roles at this point. But so he's going to be. He's been working backstage in AEW for a while. So you could definitely probably maybe see him in a pull apart soon.
Yeah, right. You see those random guys in there, like Christopher Daniels.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, that'll be enough for now. We'll run down the actual AEW Redemption predictions next week. Hopefully, they add a few more matches, maybe like we said, the stipulation for Ciampa and Jericho, things like that. But we've got another week of TV, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, other than that, what do you say we take a trip in the time machine? What do you think? And
Yeah,
let's go back to 2002. Yeah, and what was a pretty damn good show for SummerSlam 2002, kind of getting us in the mood. So we spun a good one, and I'm glad we did, because I remember, though, even though we did like a SummerSlam 94 is actually been better than we thought it was. When we went back and watched, had some good matches. Surprisingly decent stuff.
and we did the one after the 2003, and that was all right too. That wasn't too bad either. It's from memory.
SummerSlam 2003. Yeah, it had the Elimination Chamber. That was the one with Brock and Angle where he got disqualified, I think, or something like that. It was kind of a crap finish, but it was a good match.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, and the one with like Shane McMahon, Eric Bischoff with Coach turned heel. Yeah.
So yeah, some random stuff on air. Yeah, and some random mid-card matches on this show that I kind of forgotten about until we went back to it. But yeah, we'll talk about it. There's some noteworthy stuff here on the show. But yeah, SummerSlam 2002 from the Nassau Coliseum, the famous Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, New York, and a pretty good crowd for the most part. They were kind of lower on a few matches, some of the mid-card stuff kind of in the middle of the show, but for the good stuff they got up. So and they popped pretty hard and had big reactions for all the good stuff. So they released there. This was the first SummerSlam after the brand extension, Richie, when they split Raw and SmackDown into their separate rosters and started doing kind of their own pay-per-views after this. And this is kind of, a lot of people consider the start of the Ruthless Aggression era right here, with Brock winning the title, of course, the brand extension, and then SmackDown kind of taking off on its own thing, but kind of a golden age for SmackDown, I would say. This kind of period from like 02 to 04, or 05. They had like a really solid roster of like really good wrestlers, good people at the top. They had the cruiserweight division when they let them kind of cook every week, with the cruiserweights, and a pretty good time to be a SmackDown fan.
Yeah, and Paul Heyman was booking the show mostly, and it was good. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was definitely. It had really. I remember having a really cool theme song. It's my life, my time, my that's that got me pumped. Oh, that song was cool.
And then didn't they move to the Beautiful People thing with Marilyn Manson right after that, which is pretty good?
That was before, but that was a good song too.
Oh yeah, I missed that one. Like, is this the fist era, the giant fist era of SmackDown? Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think in one of the games you can jump off that thing, which is
cool. I think it was Here Comes the Pain, or the one after that. Yeah, you could climb up to the fist and jump off. That was great. So that was fun. And you could fight up there and knock somebody off. It was great. I love the falls on that thing were always hilarious, because somebody would fall and then they'd bounce around like 13 times after they fall, like in convulsions.
and they'd fall like head like top of their head first, like they would break their break their, it wouldn't be a back bump, right on top of your head.
Yeah. Well, good stuff there. But yeah, we don't waste much time, Richie. We got Michael Cole and Taz on commentary for the SmackDown matches, JR and Jerry Lawler on commentary for the Raw matches, and we get right to it because we get to a very famous opening match, Richie. Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio, maybe considered one of the best WWE opening matches ever on pay-per-view, and one that still gets talked about to this day. And I'd kind of forgotten how awesome this match is. This match rules. This match is so good.
And I remember they didn't really do a video package, but the build up to this match was fun, because I think on the SmackDown, Ray beat him, and Angle's just fuming backstage, and he goes, and he gets interviewed, and he goes, "I just got beat by a freaking 12-year-old."
I just have a 12-year-old in a mask. Yeah, no, it's very funny. So no, Angle comes out. They've started the "you suck" thing, so they're really into that.
He's got the most goofy ring gear.
His ring gear is very bright, and it's like bright. It's like red and white stripes, and it's very weird.
There's A in the middle of it.
Yeah. It looks like a goof, but you know what? It doesn't matter, because Ray comes out, and he doesn't really come out per se. They hit his music, and he doesn't come out. But that's because Richie, he's in the ring and he's up on the apron and he springboards immediately and hits Angle with an awesome over the head head scissors and pulls him down, forward. Then hits another quick head scissor off the ropes. He hits a big monkey flip. I mean, they get right into it, like right into the action. Crowd super into it and hot for this.
Yes, that's his theme song. I like that theme song. Yeah.
Who's that?
That Ari Wamstead.
Yeah. Yeah, and he would they would shoot him out from the floor, and kind of jump with the fireworks, good stuff. Yeah. No, I appreciate that. But Angle, of course, as he's wanting to do, he quickly goes for an ankle lock because he's trying to get the ankle lock for a lot of this match. But Ray flips out of it and throws Angle into the ropes. He goes for the 619 early, but Angle's able to duck out of the way, and he pulls Ray face first to the floor, as he did. He always did a couple times with Ray. Every match, I swear, he did the thing where he pulls him out. Pulls him out, and then Ray splats on the floor every time they wrestle.
Every a lot of the wrestlers have their signature bump. We'll get to one with RVD. It happened twice where I'm like, you always do this spot. But anyway.
They always do the spot, him and Ray, where Ray would kind of splat on the floor. They get back into the ring. Kurt Angle hits a big vertical suplex, and then Angle goes to whip Ray into the ropes. Ray does the thing where he turns and throws his feet there, trying to get a tilt-a-whirl, and Angle hits him with the biggest wheelbarrow suplex. It's awesome, and just bang, just way overhead. It was great. The crowd popped huge for that. I wrote, "Damn," that was great. So it was sick. Good stuff. This whole match, we'll get to it. Everything they do is crisp and clean and awesome. It's like perfect. Everything.
There were fans that were starting to cheer for Angle because there were "Let's Go Angle" chants.
No, I mean, just the way he was kind of manhandling Ray, it was a lot of fun. Ray goes for a cradle pin, but Angle turns it, picks him up, and hits a lariat for a 2 count. Hits a backbreaker for a 2 count. A lot of backbreakers on the show tonight. I saw a lot of the same moves over and over again. There was a lot of backbreakers, people getting like gorilla pressed onto the barricade. There was a lot of same moves over and over again tonight. But there was a lot of backbreakers tonight. We'll get to that. Angle kind of camel clutches Ray in the ropes, trying to choke him out a little bit. He pounds on Ray in the corner with some right hands. Ray counters a whip in the corner, but he goes for another head scissors out of the corner, but Angle spins him around and hits a sidewalk slam. That was great. Really good counter. They've had some fun counters in this match. There's a half Boston Crab to Ray, and Angle's trying to put the pressure again on his legs. Ray pulls him into a quick cradle pin, but only gets a 2 count. Angle once again hits a quick clothesline back on his feet. Ray fights back with a jawbreaker. He goes for a sunset flip, a couple more counters, and then just out of nowhere, Ray tries to escape. Angle just pulls him back in, tosses him with a belly-to-belly suplex overhead. Again, every suplex looked great. He tossed him about 10 feet in the air with the damn overhead belly-to-belly. It was great. Ray counters and Angle goes for the angle slam. Ray counters it into an arm drag, sends Angle to the outside. Ray goes for a dive, but referee stops him, and of course the crowd boos, boo, boo. And he does the thing where he's leaning over the ropes, counting out, and Ray hits this huge toe pick on Hilo over the referee, hits him on the floor. It's perfect landing, lands right on top of Angle. It looked awesome. Really
storyline, I'm like, why is Jimmy Cordero stopping him from driving?
Yeah, I don't know, just so they could then do the spot. But you know what? It worked because it was a roller coaster. You cut the crowd, but then he brings it back up and so
I'm like, are you a fan of old school Bill Watts wrestling? Like, no, you can't.
Yeah, you can't do outside stuff. That's a disqualification. Yeah. But yeah, he hits the huge toe pick on Hilo. Big pop. Crowd is going absolutely crazy right now. Tosses Angle back in, and Angle's laid out. He then jumps to the top rope, hits a gigantic springboard leg drop. I mean, he got 15 feet in the air for this leg drop.
I think they would later call the dime.
Yeah, drop of the dime. So he's the springboard leg drop, only gets a 2. Ray is up on Angle's shoulders, but Ray pulls, they go up to the top rope, I got all confused because these guys are going 100 miles an hour, by the way, so it's kind of hard. I got some of my wires crossed, but Ray does the thing where he's up on Angle's shoulders, but Angle puts a stop to that, puts him in an ankle lock, but Ray pulls from the ankle lock, pulls Angle into the ropes, and hits the 619. He then goes outside, springboards, hits the West Coast pop. 1, 2. Last second, Angle kicks out of the West Coast pop. That was a great false finish. Crowd was super into it.
I miss the West Coast pop because like he doesn't he only did it for a few years and he stopped doing it and he stopped doing it. But it's always a really cool.
Yeah, but it doesn't quite get it there. Ray goes up to the top rope. He tries to flip over Angle to get a Hurricane Rana, an avalanche Hurricane Rana, but Angle drops under Ray, yanks his feet out from under him, and just immediately hooks on a big-time ankle lock. Ray goes for the ropes, so he pulls it back to the center of the ring, pops on the ankle lock some more, and Rey Mysterio taps out to the ankle lock, and so Kurt Angle gets the tap out victory. I wrote, "Holy shit, this match is still awesome," and even better, maybe better than I remember it. This match is great, and it's funny. The crazy thing is, it's like 9 minutes. This is like a 9-minute match. It is like almost nonstop action. It is a perfect blend of the wrestler who kind of overpowers him occasionally, but every counter is clean. Every like Hurricane Rana is clean. Angle was a perfect base for Ray, as we talked about, like those guys who were like a great base, for him to do all his flippy stuff. Everything was like perfectly executed. I don't know how many times they practiced some of the shit or if they just went in there and did their thing. But goddamn, this is like a perfect opening match, and it was great. So awesome stuff, Richie.
Yeah, no, it was really good. And I forget, like we've talked about it before, but Michael Cole and Taz are, a good duo on commentary. They were good here. And but yeah, the match is really really solid, and it hyped the crowd up really 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 well. It was one of the better opening matches you'll ever see. So.
Excellent. I even saw I don't know if you watch Santi's app at all. That guy.
I know of him, yeah.
Yeah, he was on Fleet like a couple of months back and said this is one of his favorite matches of all time, just because it's like a perfect like 9-minute match, just the way it's executed. And he says he'll show this to random people, to get them into wrestling, and because it's like it has a little bit of everything you could want in a wrestling match. Again, it's under 10 minutes, so it doesn't take up anybody's time, as to do it. So
that's stuff. Understandable. It is very very good.
Yeah. We cut backstage. Stephanie's gloating about the match that just happened and says you can see both those guys on SmackDown. She makes her way to her office for the evening, but Eric Bischoff is already sitting there, and becomes a little kind of running storyline about the competing general managers, because Stephanie at this time is the general manager of SmackDown. Eric Bischoff's the general manager of Raw, but he's in there, and basically they're going to share the office for the night, and there's just kind of a bit of a rivalry on who's going to steal the show tonight, Raw or SmackDown.
Am I supposed to be, it was weird that were they trying to get over like there might be like this underlying sexual chemistry there?
I thought it was weird that like Eric was kind of underhanded, like hitting on her the whole night. It was very odd. Like Stephanie would fall for that at all. It's just weird.
And the fact that he would end up at. I mean, he's made out with Linda McMahon. I think he did actually make out with Stephanie at one point.
I think he did at some point. Yeah, they did something with this temporarily, but it didn't really like go anywhere long term. But it was kind of odd. But there was it seemed like they were gunning for it, the way they're like he's like smiling at her and stuff. So, but anyway, so they're going to be watching together in the office there, and we immediately get to our second match. Again, we don't great. It was again refreshing to watch the show, Richie. The show's like 2.5 hours. This whole pay-per-view. There's
or gambling,
no ads. There's a lot of wrestling. A lot of the matches get enough time to do what they need to do. And hey, what do we have in between the matches? A little backstage vignette, a promo, before or after a match. We get a hype video, even on the way to the ring or before the actual match. A little recap video of the feud. It was nice. It was refreshing.
I know why they're. If I hadn't watched the TV leading up, I know why Jericho and Ric Flair are wrestling.
That's what I
Because
mean. He comes out, and during his entrance, they show a little video. They say that they've been, going back and forth kind of on Raw, that Ric Flair wrecked the Fozzy performance on Raw, which is funny. Wrecked that. Jericho attacked him during a promo, back and forth. Again, we get a nice little recap, nothing crazy, but hey, I know why these guys are fighting now. Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah,
So,
I remember that era where they would open commentary and would openly shit on his band, to where I thought it was just a fake band. I'm like, oh no, it's actually his real passion,
it's
right?
just a real band, and that was his real band that would perform on Raw and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
The
So,
crowd, Fozzy sucks, but he's singing.
yeah. So yeah, we've got Chris Jericho taking on the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. No titles on the line or anything, just kind of a grudge match here. But yeah, we immediately start with Flair, of course, chopping Chris Jericho. He chops the shit out of Jericho this entire
Holy,
match.
holy hell, yeah, yeah.
I was like 75% of his offense in this match is him chopping, whether it's counter chopping, offensive chopping on the top rope.
Yeah.
Most of his offense, but you know what? I'm not complaining because his chops are great. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Probably because maybe he wanted to prove something because like Jericho's chops are pretty good too. So he's like, no, yeah, you think your chops are good, but like
yeah.
mine are some of the best. I'm gonna fucking chop the shit out of you.
So yeah, Flair starts by chopping him right there. They kind of tangle a little bit. Flair struts around. Chris chops Ric Flair again. He has some good ones as well. They kind of trade some back and forth. Gets a backdrop on Flair, back suplex to Flair, but he misses an elbow drop on the floor. Flair comes back with some huge nasty chops. Again, all the ones he hits were very loud, very nasty. Jericho, this is a funny spot. Flair throws Jericho over the ropes. Jericho skins the cat, but then turns around right back into another chop and gets chopped. That's pretty great. I enjoy little things like that. I wrote, haha, that was really funny. But Jericho chops the shit out of Flair again as well. Sends Flair into the corner. He does this kind of upside down bump and gets taken out over to the floor. Flair gets dropped on the barricade.
Upside down bump, I think he might have botched it a little bit. Like he usually does upside down bump, and he goes, yeah. And I don't think he did the full rotation, but yeah.
But he still stumbled out to the floor. Jericho drops him on the barricade. We would see this spot a couple of times tonight. Again, people just gorilla pressing people on barricades. But he hits a double axe handle to Flair on the floor. Back in the ring, Flair tries to fight back with some more chops, but Jericho hits a second rope missile drop kick, gets a 2 count. Kristen takes off his wrist tape and tries to choke Flair with it behind the referee's back. Flair fights back again with more chops, but gets taken down with a couple of right hands. Big suplex to Flair. Chris goes up to the top, but Flair chops him on the top rope. That was fun because he was like chopping up, on Chris on the top rope, and then tosses him off there. Flair again hits some more chops and a backdrop. Back suplex to Chris for a 2 count. Chris then counters the suplex, goes for the walls of Jericho, but Flair pulls him into a small package for a 2 count. Chris eventually hits the Bulldog, but misses the Lion Salt. He does not get it. Flair then tries the walls of Jericho. He's unable to put it on Jericho, but Jericho turns it around on him and gets a figure 4 and starts putting that on. Flair eventually gets to the ropes, but as he grabs the ropes, he grabs the rope and then he taps. That was kind of a weird spot. He taps out as he grabs the ropes. Kind of a strange spot there. But Chris tries to go after Flair in the ropes. He tries to do kind of his running sort of thing in the ropes. He misses and kind of crotches himself. But Jericho accidentally tags Charles Robinson with an elbow in his eye, and right behind the back, Flair just hits a blatant low blow. A lot of low blows on the show too. Holy shit, there's low blows in every other match on the show as well. But Flair gets the low blow. Flair after that puts the figure 4 on Jericho, and Jericho taps out. And this match is over. So yeah, for you don't see it a lot in this era, but Flair gets the win with the figure 4. So he gets the win on Jericho. And if I remember right, I remember reading something about this match, Richie, where it was Jericho's idea to have Flair go over here, and especially even clean with the submission, because he felt like Flair was getting he wasn't getting his due on the main roster. They were having him lose a lot, and he wanted to kind of give him something, and he didn't mind losing in a good match. So I think this is mostly due to Jericho's finish he won.
Yeah, I think they'll rematch the next month, and I think Jericho just won then. But because I think Jericho between now and then, I think Jericho beats RVD for the Intercontinental title, and then then the next match Jericho and Ric Flair have is for the Intercontinental title. So yeah, I mean, that's what I believe that is the case. But yeah, no, it's a yeah. I like the match what it was. JR on commentary says it was Ric Flair's first SummerSlam, which sounds crazy, but it'd be true.
But I think it's true. Yeah, like he never actually wrestled at SummerSlam. Yeah, in this brief time where he was in the WWF beforehand. So it would be true. I mean, don't know why they
Yeah.
would say it if it wasn't. But yeah, yeah, it was an entertaining match. I thought it was entertaining. Yeah, Flair's chops are always great. Even if he chops the whole match, I don't care. That's fine. It's entertaining every time he does it. And yeah, it was all right. Decent little match.
This was King of the World era Chris Jericho, where he tried to get that saying over, but only for like a few months, and then he gave up on it. And King of the World.
And then he eventually came out to it we talked about that Survivor Series in 2002, the Elimination Chamber, and he had that whole entrance with the King of My World song.
Yeah, I think he quickly dropped
Yeah, it's not as good.
It's not as good. It's like it's an alright listen if you like just what, because it's on the Forcible Entry soundtrack, I think, and it's like it's cool, but it's not a it works as cool as a song, but it's just not it's not an entrance theme, you know.
No, it's not. Yeah, so we cut backstage. We see Brock Lesnar kind of warming up here. He's with Paul Heyman, of course. So yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, even almost 25 years ago, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar were a thing. They've been a thing for a very, very long time.
they're best friends for a reason.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, but Paul's with him. He said he wants him to murder Rock's title reign, something to that effect. That was a little odd wording, but he wants him to, he's just kind of pump him, psych him up, and he is very much putting over this next big thing, Richie. That Rock is the next big thing. He keeps putting that out. I even had a DVD that came out shortly after this called Brock Lesnar, the next big thing. I had it.
Yeah, I think it came out right at the same time, or around probably just after this, because I think on the cover is Brock lifting up Brock for an F5. So I think it's around.
The DVD had highlights from the SummerSlam match, so it was definitely after, because that was kind of where it kind of ended. Essentially,
yeah. I miss those days where, like, sort of if you're a big enough superstar, you get like an individual DVD.
No, and that was the funny thing. After some in like late 2003 or early 2004, there was like a John Cena Word Life DVD. I had that one.
or just basically about his raps and stuff.
His raps and a few highlights of wrestling, and that was about it. But yeah, mostly his angles and his raps. Yeah, I used to have all these DVDs. I got rid of a lot of them a long time ago, but I used to have a few of those around here. I had random stuff like that. But yeah, right after that kind of backstage thing, we get to our third match of the evening. Again, nothing really on the line, just a mid-card match here. But we got Eddie Guerrero taking on Edge. And by the way, at least on Netflix, when I watched this, Edge is Never Gonna Stop Rob Zombie song was not edited off. They had it.
Same here. It was. Yeah, and that song rules. I even bought the album where that song is on.
I had a couple of Rob Zombie albums around this time. I was a Rob Zombie fan, so that song is great. I was that was one of the reasons I got really into Edge around this time. Is like I thought that song ruled, and they were pushing him. So it's really good stuff. Right after, it's not long after Eddie came back. Remember he was gone for a little bit of 2002. Rehabbing, and it was on the Indies for a very short period of time. Ring of Honor, IWA.
Get a match with CM Punk and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, he sure did. Before Ray signed and before Eddie came back. They are back now. He looks great. So Edge quickly hits a flapjack on Eddie. Kind of the start. They trade some counters. Eddie goes over the top rope. He hangs Edge's neck kind of on the back, kind of pulls him down on the ropes and goes to work on him a little bit. Edge gets a monkey flip on Eddie inside the ring for a 2 count. He tries to get a spear, but doesn't get all of it. He gets a little bit in the gut, doesn't get a full spear, though. Outside, Eddie attacks Edge in the shoulder after Edge goes with him on the floor. This would be a running theme in the match. He's kind of working on Edge's shoulder and his arm for most of the match. So he gets inside. He hits an arm breaker. He hits a kind of a face plant for a 2 count. He then puts a Kimura on Edge. That's pretty much what it was. He was cranking his arm back, kind of like Brock Lesnar would do with the Kimura. But Edge eventually gets to the ropes. He slaps on a Fujiwara armbar. And then, so he's working on him a little bit, gets back up, gets whipped. Edge counters with an Irish whip and hits a big power slam and a backdrop. He then hits kind of a face first slam to Eddie, gets a 2 count on him. Edge suplexes Eddie over the top rope and goes to the floor. So Eddie takes a big bump to the outside. And then Edge goes up and hits a huge crossbody to the floor. He got some huge airtime on this crossbody out near the barricade. But he landed on Eddie, got it good. Edge goes outside to the top rope. They're both up as they're kind of working their way back into the ring, and Edge tosses them in kind of a front suplex, or really just kind of a falling front suplex. It was kind of like the move Kidman did for a while when he was on SmackDown, from the top rope for one of his things. But he did that for a 2 count. Edge kind of stalks Eddie, kind of looking for the spear. But as he comes in for the spear, Eddie drop kicks his shoulder. That was beautiful. I love that. Like he literally hit the quickest like hop up into a drop kick. Like Eddie's so damn good. He's fucking great.
He's probably the best wrestlers ever. So
just everything he does is amazing. So but he popped up, hit this quick drop kick to the shoulder. That was great. He then hits a frog splash. Eddie goes up for a frog splash, but Edge gets the knees up, so he doesn't quite get it. Edge picks him up and hits an execution, but he only gets a 2 count, which Michael Cole notes that he may have been the first guy to kick out of the execution. Eddie then,
these days, it's like a transitional move, and so people kick out of time.
Eddie hits a Northern Lights suplex for a 2, picks him up, hits a quick neck breaker. They eventually both work their way up to the turnbuckle. He knocks Edge off, and then Eddie hits a frog splash to Edge's arm, which was cool. Again, he just targets the arm and the shoulder with a frog splash. So that was, again, kind of cool. But he only gets a 2 count after a pin attempt there. Eddie tries a running arm drag, but Edge slams him down. He runs the ropes and hits a running spear and gets a 3 count. So Edge is able to pin Eddie Guerrero in what, again, I thought was a pretty good little mid-card match, and it told a good story. Eddie is still, every time I see him, like the greatest wrestler I've ever seen. Every time he works, and he's the best. And and Edge was, obviously up and coming, and he would become a pretty big, star in this Ruthless Aggression era, and would work his way kind of up the card, throughout this era. So, he was really breaking out as a single star right now.
Yeah, he was one of those guys that they decided to push in like 2001 as a singles guy, and and they didn't give up on it, and it worked.
It eventually got over. It just took some time, but eventually it did.
No, this match is really good. They again, I think this is not long after, because I think both Eddie and Benoit got drafted or either got traded to SmackDown from Raw, because before this he had a few. Eddie had a few RVDs on Raw. So
Benoit did get traded even before the show, and that's why they have the match with RVD, because it's a Raw versus SmackDown thing. Because Benoit's technically on SmackDown at this time, and then RVD, has to beat him to bring the IC title back, and then they would eventually reintroduce the US title, as their kind of mid card title. It was Eddie's probably first feud on SmackDown. They would have an even better, this match is really good, but I think they'd have Unforgiven. Unforgiven is a lot of rematches, but they'd have an even better match on Unforgiven. They had that SmackDown. Remember that no DQ match they had on SmackDown with the ladders and stuff? Like that match is awesome. That match was great.
So these guys work well together. Eddie Guerrero is just fantastic. Sometimes you wonder, like, man, like I don't know if he hadn't passed away earlier, if he would have gone that much longer, but like he would have been such a asset, asset to the business, like just picking his brain on stuff as well. So it's just like he's so, everything's so crisp and just amazing, and he was so good in this match. But it was a really fun match.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, good match there. And then we cut back with the coach, and the coach is with the Un-Americans, of course. The Un-Americans test Christian and Lance Storm, which isn't that just like a Team Canada? Are they really like the Un-Americans? Like they don't.
I guess later. I mean, I don't know how much later, but I know William Regal joins eventually.
Eventually, but as of right now, it's basically just like a version of Team Canada, is it not?
Yeah. I don't know, and I mean, like, it's weird looking back on it, like now through adult eyes. You're like, look, I know they're heels because I don't like America, but are they really doing anything that dastardly? I don't know.
Not really. I mean, I guess they're walking around with like an upside down flag, but like, so what? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But they're not really doing anything super dastardly that any other faction was doing, because here, even in the promo, they're just like doing the typical heel thing of just like, oh, here in Long Island they just are lazy and stupid and don't appreciate athleticism. I'm like, that's any heel says that every time they're in
But on commentary, like JR especially had venom for them. They fucking hated it.
Anybody that was like, not American, or whatever. But I don't know if it was just they were trying to get cheap heat off of. But again, it doesn't make any sense, because like they don't want to have anybody be explicitly like super anti-American after 9/11, but like, so the worst they could do is get a bunch of Canadians. They don't really venture into that territory till like Muhammad Hassan in like 05.
Out.
So,
yeah. So it was weird. It was just like, I don't know. You could have just called it Team Canada. Like America. I mean, any country likes to boo the other country. You could have just made another Team Canada. It's fine.
Yeah, you could have had Lance Storm, start Team Canada again, like he did in WCW, and like they could wave Canadian flags around, and it wouldn't be upside down American flags. And like, wrestling audience, especially back then, are so simple they would can't chant USA anyways. Like, it's not that big a deal. I mean, Bret Hart did the same shit when they did like, him and like the Canadian Stampede thing. It was Canada versus America. Like, this is
and funny. Like, is after this there'll be Team Canada in TNA. It was pretty Bobby Roode, Eric Young, was it A1? Remember him?
And then Scott D'Amore leading them, of course, like you're talking about Maple Leaf Pro.
Scott D'Amore, and yeah. So it's funny. Like, I mean, it works. You could do Team Canada, but the Un-Americans like during the other build up for the test match, like, we're Un-Americans. We don't know we don't know who they are, why they're here. I'm like, you know who they are. They've been in the company for ages.
All three of these guys have been in the company for a while. So, anyways, that leads into for the Raw Tag Team titles. We got your champions within the Un-Americans of Christian and Lance Storm taking on Booker T and Goldust, who I always thought was a pretty fun team.
I love Booker T and Goldust.
Yeah.
I feel like they like WWE always like gun shy pulling the trigger, and they finally did, and they only had like a short reign. I'm like, damn it.
They're fun here. So Goldust and Christian kind of start things out. He does his kind of drop down punch on Christian. Eventually Lance Storm tags in, but Goldust hits him with the atomic drop and the clothesline. Booker T comes in. He's a big house of fire, hits a couple elbows and punches, big sidewalk slam to Lance Storm, kind of drops his like kind of delayed knee thing. That was in the video game too, by the way. His little delayed little knee drop thing he did here on where he just like stops and kind of eventually like drops it. That was in the video game. But Goldust back in. Christian kind of gets a cheap shot on him near the ropes, and he gets tossed over the ropes. Christian's attacking while Lance Storm's kind of grabbing the referee. Back in, they hit some more double team kind of cheap shots in the corner. Some other double team stuff that the referee doesn't see because Booker's trying to kind of come in and save him a little bit. Another backbreaker for two. Again, put that in every match, backbreaker. But Storm comes in, hits a missile drop kick. A lot of missile drop kicks tonight too. I think RVD would do one later. They basically, but they do a weird spot where he like he like whips Lance Storm, Goldust does, and like he comes back and he almost hits like kind of a choke slam. It's weird, like a running, like kind of a half
It's
choke slam, half black hole slam kind of a thing. It was a little weird.
it was weird. It was weird. I don't know if that was what they were trying to go for, but that's what happened.
That's what happened, but he took the back bump and it looked fine. But yeah, he tries to get the Booker T tag. He can't quite get it. Christian locks on a headlock before he gets there. They do the spot where he tags Booker, but of course Nick Patrick didn't see the tag. So
and then it's like, and Jazz like, well, here, Nick Patrick is an exceptional referee, but you know, you can't.
No, he isn't.
Like, no, he isn't. Nick Patrick sucks. What are you talking about?
So yeah, he misses the tag, doesn't see it. Of course, I've done that spot as a referee. Okay, it gets heat. It gets heat. It is what it is. You know, it's an easy heat spot as you're kind of building up to the hot tag. But Goldust once again, because of that, gets pummeled in the corner. Eventually fights back with a clothesline. He catapults Christian into Lance. Kind of both men collide. Goldust once again goes for the tag, but oh man, Lance Storm just pulls Booker T off the apron, so he's unable to get the tag once again. So they're still kind of stretching it out. It's easy, but again, it works because the crowd gets kind of fired up, and when eventually it does in a second, you know, there's a big pop. Yeah, the ref is with Booker, so they behind the ref's back, the Lance and Christian grab chairs. They go for a concerto, but of course just bonk the chairs into each other, and then Goldust takes both of them down with a double clothesline. Finally gets the tag in front of Nick Patrick to Booker. Big pop. Booker T comes in, big house of fire, wails on both guys, hits a big missile drop kick on Christian, but only gets a 2 count. He misses the scissor kick. Christian tries the unprettier, but Lance goes to try to hit Booker kind of in the middle of this, but he lays out Nick Patrick with a heel kick, so down goes the ref there once again. Booker kicks both of those guys. He goes for the spinner-rooney, hits a big crescent kick, but there's no referee to count the pinfall. Where did he go? Patrick's still down. And amidst all this fray, Test runs in, big boots Booker T, and then he gets pinned for the 3 count as Test runs away. So, you know, again, very standard kind of tag team stuff. But they did a couple of spots that are guaranteed kind of heat. You know, the couple of, you know, ref doesn't see the tag, pull him off the apron the last second, blah, blah, blah. Very, very basic tag stuff, but done well by all 4 of these guys. You know, crowd eventually kind of gets into it. And of course, the predictable, like, you know, you wonder where Test is. Well, he comes in at the end and cheap shots for the win. So pretty
like, get through it. The Un-Americans come out for Undertaker's match, and then Undertaker just kicks the shit out of them.
Undertaker just jobs the shit out of all of them because Undertaker around this time was on a reign of terror and he could not be stopped. he was both when he was a heel in 2002 and even, you know, after this when he was on SmackDown, he was a force of nature. Yeah, but a pretty decent little tag match, not bad.
I liked it, and Booker T and Goldust were quite over. It wasn't until like the end of the year where they finally were like, okay, you can win the tag titles, like
Well, I mean, everybody was tag team champions around then. Why not have Booker T and Goldust have them for a little while? You know, like everybody had them.
Yeah. I think they beat like Jericho and Christian of all people. Remember then when they were Vitamin C.
Yeah, just for a little bit. Yeah. All right. So moving on, we cut randomly to WWE World, formerly WWF New York, and Jamie Noble and Nydia.
Nydia.
Yeah, he's like, hey, come over here, make out with Nydia. That's right. And he's like, it was Jamie Noble and Nydia. And I forgot about this. So Jamie Noble's gimmick is that he's a cuck and likes to watch Nydia get with other guys.
He wants fans to make out with his girlfriend.
Yeah, because then she picks out one of these 2 guys that are on stage, and there's a couch there randomly on the thing, and she mounts him and starts making out. And he's just like, "Oh yeah, give him the tongue thing. That's good. Oh yeah." He's like, "Yeah, that's right. Slip him the tongue. There you go. Get on top of him." And then that's the whole segment. Okay.
The problem with this, I mean, I found it entertaining, but the problem with this segment is like, you know, that, you know, if I'm watching this, you know, parents wouldn't walk in on like the great matches. They'd walk in on this and go, "What are you watching?"
Yeah, you know, what are you watching? Yeah, it's like
why couldn't you walk in before when I was watching?
You could watch a whole pay-per-view and they won't come in on like a, like Benoit Kurt Angle match, right, where they're just wrestling and doing their thing. They would come in on like the bra and panties match that came after that,
Yeah.
right?
No, I swear, I'm like, there was other good stuff.
Yeah. No, we were just watching the tag team match, and the guy next to the two wrestlers, and they're gonna wrestle. You had to walk in on this. Yeah, damn. Okay. But we cut back a little bit, just Steph and Eric back in the office again, kind of yapping back and forth. Not much to say there. But yes, our next match number 5, is for the Intercontinental title. Your champion, Chris Benoit, who we've been informed has been moved to SmackDown, taking on RVD from Raw. So kind of an interpromotional sort of match here. RVD is super over, as he was around this time. So yeah, big time over here. And Benoit playing a little bit of a heel here. Like I don't remember him playing heel a lot, but at least in this era, but he kind of was.
He was a heel around this time for I think
A
by the
little
end
bit.
babyface. But yeah, he was sort of a heel because he became a heel once when he came back from injury for a bit, and then I think he was meant to feud with Austin, but Austin did he took his ball and went home.
Took his ball and went home, which he expanded on later. His main objection was, like, I don't mind wrestling Brock Lesnar, even losing to him, but we should do it on pay-per-view and make some money off of this.
Yeah.
Which in hindsight, like, makes a lot of sense. That's a big match. You should do that on pay-per-view and sell some tickets,
that would have been pretty good.
Yeah, because he was like, I don't mind putting the kid over. I put lots of people over. He's like, I don't give a shit about that. Like, how many times he put, around that time, Jericho or Benoit or RVD or whoever, he's lost to people left and right. Like, Steve doesn't seem like one of those guys that has like the ego to not lose. Like he's one of the problem was it was going to be on like a random Raw, like and a qualifier for like the King of the Ring, and he was like, no, if I'm going to face this hot new prospect, let's build up to it down the line, like build it, and then at a big pay-per-view, let's do a big match, and then I'll put him over.
I mean, this could be like, Brock and Rock is obviously a huge match as well, but this could be a SummerSlam match,
100%. It could have been, it could have been Stone Cold and Brock Lesnar. That would have been a huge match, absolutely. And then the only time that they would really kind of be in the ring together is in that 2004 WrestleMania where Brock got booed out of the building. So and he stuns him. But there's not much other than that, unfortunately.
Looked like Austin was going to feud. It did look like before he left too, Austin was going to feud with Eddie Guerrero, which was the biggest what ifs. I wouldn't mind seeing that feud. Wouldn't have mind seeing that feud, but
that would have been fun. But I think Stone Cold had a point to that. So that's a money match you want to make money off of, not just a random Raw match. Take notes, Tony Khan. Some matches need to be on pay-per-view, not on random television shows.
Yeah. Even if people, even if some of your roster, but try to go, I want this on, and you go, no, I'm the boss. You kind of got to be the boss sometimes.
I'm the boss, and this is a big match, and people should pay for this to watch it because it's a big thing. So, yes. But anyways, getting back to this one, Benoit and RVD. So RVD starts out with some harsh body kicks kind of to the body of Benoit, kind of hitting some quick kicks there. He kind of powders out for a second, take a second, tries the kicks once again, but Benoit gets a dragon screw takeover and catches one of them, hits a big shoulder block. RVD kind of rolls away. He jumps to the second rope, hits a turnaround cross body and gets a 2 count. RVD tries the kicks again, but Benoit spins him around into a big German suplex. He throws RVD into the turnbuckle as he kind of starts to work over some body parts here. Hits a big clothesline for a 2. Backbreaker on RVD. There you go. Take a shot every time I say backbreaker.
Every match.
Yeah, every single one. Snap suplex for a 2 count. He goes, he cradles RVD for a 2 count. RVD turns it around to a backslide for a 2 count. Again, he clotheslines Benoit back down. There was a couple of things, Richie, where he would hit like a running elbow or something. I swear it looked like a hidden blade, like what Will Ospreay does in a couple of spots where he would do like this running, like kind of like elbow like this, and I swear it looked like the hidden blade, like he was doing. I almost wrote Benoit hits a hidden blade on RVD.
So maybe where he got it, maybe where Will Ospreay got it from, but because it's Benoit, he can't say that.
Yeah, right. But anyways, RVD he counters Benoit in the corner. He goes for the split like a moonsault, but Benoit has it scouted and gets his knees up. Benoit then goes to the top rope himself and tries the top rope headbutt, but he misses the headbutt. RVD jumps to the top rope. He goes for the 5-star, but he misses the 5-star frog splash. So, and then Benoit pulls him into the crossface right after that. That was a good little sequence, just each of them trying to hit kind of the big move to end the thing. But Benoit puts him in the crossface for a little bit. RVD gets his legs on the ropes and is able to break it. Some chops, big chops from Benoit to RVD, attacks him in the corner. RVD jumps to the top eventually, but Benoit does the thing where he pushes RVD off to the floor.
What I was saying earlier, Albany always at the spot. And it happened twice in this match, where he goes at the spot. He always gets pushed off the rope. It's like he loves in the spot where someone pushes him off and it goes sailing into the barricade.
Yeah.
And he even got. I think he even got eliminated at a Rumble doing this. I'm like, you don't. Like, I love you, RVD, but that's a dumb move. What are you doing?
Yeah, even like in one of his, I want to say his first match, like at the Invasion, Jeff Hardy does it to him. Like, he loved doing this spot all the time. So yeah, he's one of his things. He runs RVD's arm into the post on the outside, and he comes back in and hits a shoulder breaker. Benoit then hits a couple of elbow shots. That's where he wrote the hidden blade. He did like a big like hidden blade kind of elbow. And gets a 2 count. Benoit puts him in a submission. The crowd is at this point is distracted by something. I think there was a fight in the crowd or something because they're all.
But I feel like I'm like, I was confused. I'm like, why is this crowd kind of dead?
Because they were looking at a fight or somebody being escorted out or something. But Benoit does the smart thing at that point. He realizes this, so he slapped on a submission. That's what you got to do. Because I heard even Jim Cornette on his Secrets of the Ring thing or whatever, where he's talking about psychology of matches and listening to the crowd. He goes, the problem is there's if something happens in the crowd, or somebody's in the front row, or somebody starts to fight, or there's a hot one, the crowd's distracted. He goes, listen, it's gonna take him a minute to settle back down, so just slap a damn hold on, and just wait a minute and just wait till it settles down, and then get back to it. Take your time. It seems like Ben was a pro, so that's what he does. He just kind of works a couple of ground submissions for a minute while the crowd kind of settles back down. Eventually, RVD fights back up. It's a back heel trip. He goes for that kind of cartwheel moonsault thing that was also in the game, but he misses that. And after he misses, Benoit once again pulls him into the crossface, trying to get that submission. RVD kind of elbows his way out. Benoit eventually gets a roll up and only gets a 2 count. RVD once again gets sent into the post shoulder first, so still working over the shoulders. Benoit did a cool thing where he hit 3 consecutive Northern Lights suplexes, hanging out with the hammerlock. That was interesting.
It was like, I haven't seen this before. It was like almost like a German suplex spot, but it was with Northern Lights. It was cool.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. It was pretty unique. So he hits 3 of those, hang on each time. He puts on a crossface, but eventually turns it into a dragon sleeper. So again, that was kind of unique there, just going for a different submission. But RVD eventually counters into his own crossface, putting Benoit in his own move. And then Benoit pops back up and hits a quick drop kick to the face to counter out of that. RVD eventually fights back up, gets to the ropes, hits a quick springboard kick to the head for a 2 count. RVD hits a step over kick and then eventually gets the rolling thunder for a 2 count to a big pop as they're kind of picking up the pace here. He hits a big spinning wheel kick, gets a 2 count as well. He goes to the top rope but gets crotched on the top rope as Benoit. Yeah, he totally got crushed. pretty rough. And then Benoit goes for a big back suplex, but RVD counters by turning it around kind of into a crossbody, falls on top of him. And then right after that, he immediately runs to the ropes, hops up, hits the 5-star frog splash, and gets the big win. So we have a new Intercontinental Champion, RVD, via pinfall. So again, good match. It had that kind of dead spot in the middle where the crowd was definitely distracted by something that kind of killed some of the momentum, I feel like, but it wasn't really their fault. It was kind of a 2 minutes thing there where they, were just had to kind of work around that. It might have gone about 2 minutes too long. I think they could have cut it short a little bit, maybe like sped it up a little bit in 1 or 2 spots at the end. Like they were kind of going for too many pins. I thought they should just kept kind of going, and keep it moving. But overall, again, a very good match. I think these guys would have better matches though on other shows, overall.
Yeah.
It was good.
I was sort of with you with it being a bit too long, but I thought it was good. There was also at the end at one point, I think Benoit just like ruins Avdi's ponytail because eventually his hair just gets in his face. I'm like, oh, and it's like, oh, okay, your hair's got longer now because it's no longer done up. So I think his ponytail came out, and so I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that before. And so yeah, it's like he had to do the 5-star frog splash with his own hair in his face. So, but yeah, it was. But yeah, no, it was a good solid match. But yeah, these guys have better matches down the road. And then yeah, obviously Eric Bischoff was gloating, but then and then this is when the sexual tension, I don't know, we mentioned before, was put here, and but then Stephanie just kind of laughs at him. I kind of read later. I think it was because this is when, because at the time, like the undisputed champion was defending the title on both brands, but I think she reworked it so that Brock only defends on SmackDown. So he kind of screwed him over there. That's how they introduced the big gold belt. And
and didn't they do a thing where he introduces a big gold belt and Triple H just comes out and demands to be given the big gold belt, just automatically.
Yeah, because I think announced him as number one contender at some point, and it was like, oh no, he's like, no, why can't I just have it? And he's like, oh, okay.
So just demanded to be champion because he's Triple H. So we like I said, we see that little bit of segment there, but not much else. And yeah, we've got the Un-Americans back in action as we've got Test, who we saw a little bit earlier, but he's got an official match against the American Badass, The Undertaker. And yeah, this is kind of when he turned back babyface. You remember he was heel for a little while, kind of in the first half of 2002, the gimmick where he was just brutalizing people left and right, and kind of reigning a terror, Raw.
He more or less turned back. He more or less, I mean, it was sort of a heel when he during Vengeance when he lost the title, but he more or less turned babyface when after that really classic match with Jeff Hardy on Raw.
That ladder match. Yeah, that ladder match was awesome. Yeah, that was great.
And he finally just went, "Finally, you get my respect." And I think that was good.
Yeah, it was a whole like make yourself famous kind of a gimmick or whatever, that sort of thing. But he's kind of back to being a babyface here. So, and he would go over to SmackDown, I think, permanently after this.
Yeah, because he's
Brock.
He's Brock's first challenge, like challenger. Yeah.
Because he has a couple matches with Brock. He has like a regular match. They have like a chain match, I think, at some point in a month or two, and then like a biker chain match, and then they have that Hell in a Cell, which is a great match. That Hell in a Cell is awesome. Good stuff there. We get this going. So we got kind of a Haas fight here with Test and the Undertaker. Test immediately starts in with a shoulder block. There's a couple of whips. Undertaker leapfrogs Test. That was impressive because Test is not a small man. He's like
he's like
6'6". Yeah, he's a big boy. So he leapfrogged him. That was cool. And hits a big hip toss. He hits his leaping clothesline for a 2 count. He goes for old school, but Test shoves the referee into the ropes. Jack Doan into the ropes, knocks him down. On the outside, Test whips Taker into the steps, knees first, and he goes over the stairs there. Back inside, Test hits a few elbows in the corner, chokes him with his boot a little bit, hits the avalanche clothesline in the corner. Test then hits a pulling clothesline in there, puts an arm submission on. Taker eventually fights back with a big back suplex, but misses a follow-up elbow. Toe-to-toe, guys going back and forth with punches. Taker eventually hits the catching DDT for a 2 count, and he goes up and tries old school again, but this time he does get the old school. He then does his thing where he hits the snake eyes and he goes for the running big boot, but he misses it. Test then hooks him up and tries for the pump handle slam, but Taker choke slams him eventually, but only gets a 2 count out of the choke slam. This is where Lance Storm and Christian both come out. Storm just gets tossed like immediately over the top rope. He's like no threat whatsoever to Taker. Taker then wails on him and Christian again. The whole time I'm going like, is this not a disqualification? Oh, that's right. fight. It's only disqualification if they get offense on him. If they don't get offense on him, then it's not a DQ, Richie. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Because they're attacking him kind of left and right. Well, they're trying to attack him, but Taker's fending him off, and then eventually he chokeslams both Lance and Christian. But in the fray, Test comes out of nowhere, hits the big boot, but he only gets a 2 count as Taker's able to kick out. Test then grabs a chair. There's kind of a struggle with the ref. The ref goes down, but Taker boots the chair into Test's face and then picks him up and hits a big tombstone pile driver and gets the 3 count. And then post-match, he grabs an actual American flag from the crowd and kind of poses with it. And crowd pop for it, Taker doing his American Badass thing. They say, yeah, he was a destroyer of worlds here, Richie. Nobody could stop The Undertaker in this match because not only does Test barely get any offense on him, it's kind of an extended squash match, but yeah, he squashed all of the un-Americans here. So that should have been the end of the faction right here and there because at any point, Taker could just take all 3 of them out.
It would continue for a little bit because I think the next month it would be the return of Kane because they would try to burn the flag and then Kane would come back and then stop them from doing that. But yeah, no, it was this match. JR was going crazy for this match. Like, oh, you got a tombstone.
Undertaker, he got the tombstone. Oh, the tombstone.
Yeah. He's having fun with un-Americans getting their comeuppance as well. It was a solid match, but yeah, I think it would have been nice if Test got his would get his kind of due as far as a push goes. One other match I always recommend people to watch is he had a really weirdly good match on I think it was the semifinals of King of the Ring in 2002 with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, him and Brock was a good little semifinal match. Yeah, And then I think later this year, him and Kane have an oddly good Haas fight, at Armageddon or something. It's pretty good.
Yeah. And obviously, and I always liked his big boot. Got big sound off that thing. So No, this match it's. I think I mentioned it before, but it's ironic because the year after he would face Albert, so it would be tested out. So TNA and year after year. So solid match. It was probably just designed to send the Americana into the for a happy moment. With I think the moment where Undertaker holding the flag, I think that was that was used for his Undertaker's new Titantron when he would get the "You've done it now." Yeah.
We get our video package for our kind of semi-main event of the night for our unsanctioned match with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. And just a quick backstory. Yeah, Shawn came back. This was his first match back from his injury, of course, but he came back on Raw. Triple H teased that they would reunite DX, but right as they were about to do the suck it, he pedigreed Shawn and then said, that he was never friends with Shawn. He just used him to kind of get to the top and whatnot. But then they also did an angle where Shawn, with some kind of mystery man, got his head run through a car window and got all bloodied up. And they pulled some CSI nonsense where it's really grainy camera footage, and they cleaned it up, even though you can't do that on footage that's already grainy. That's not a thing. They cleaned it up, and it's him and still grainy, but he's wearing his Triple H logo shirt, and it's obviously him. So
I have a little bit of there's a small nitpick with the storytelling. It's if you want to have that kind of suspension of who could it be? You shouldn't have maybe done the whole the pedigree, the DX thing. You should have been Triple H is. Shawn Michaels attack backstage. Who could it be? And then you do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then it's obvious it's Triple H.
It's a little too obvious.
And then they did that, and then they did the whole they did that whole storyline again years later with Enzo and Cass, where Enzo was taken out. Or who could it be? And it was Cass. You've done this, all right.
So yeah, they builds up to this, and Eric Bischoff eventually says he wants nothing to do with this blood feud, and that it's going to be an unsanctioned match. So it's going to be unsanctioned. Referee's only there to count the pinfall or the
So we're
submission.
gonna
So
advertise it, and it's gonna be promoted, and
of course, yeah, it's our usual nitpicks with unsanctioned matches that they have full entrances and music and promotion and everything. Yes, of course,
I will.
and we have real quick a referee that constantly tries to interfere in the match and stop people from doing shit.
Oh yeah, that was annoying. But I will say at least like Shawn Michaels had street gear on, kind of.
No, that's one thing that Sean did that a lot. Anytime he would actually have like a street fight or something, 9 times out of 10 he would come out with like jeans on, which I appreciated, and like cowboy boots. So I appreciated that. Just yeah, little things about like street fights and stuff. So yeah, I like that. So yeah, he came out with his stuff. They make their entrances. Yeah, Earl Hebner is the ref for this one. Sean quickly gets in, starts punching. Hunter gets a takedown on him, hits some more punches, sends Triple H over the top rope. He hits the over the top rope plancha to Triple H, so he's cooking here in his return. Back in and out, clotheslines Triple H on the floor. He then drops Triple H on the barricade. Again, take a shot for every time you hear that, or a backbreaker, or a low blow in these matches. It was a recurring theme here. Sean gets a trash can lid, and then skins the cat and hits the trash can into Triple H's head. Off the top, where he goes to the top, hits a kind of a double arm sledge to Triple H. So he's cooking right now. Crowd's into it. He's about to hit the sweet chin music, but he misses, and Triple H picks him up and hits a huge backbreaker. So this is the backbreaker of the night. And I'll say this just through the whole thing: Sean puts on a masterclass in selling in this match. He is great.
Yeah. No, you believe like, oh my, okay, yeah, like his back even after all these years is still giving him issues.
Yeah, because Triple H hits this backbreaker, and the way Sean like pops off the backbreaker and just immediately kind of like arches himself back, and it's just like selling. It's great. He's fantastic. So I mean, it goes without saying, Shawn Michaels is a really good worker. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Hey, Shawn Michaels is really talented, and he was really good at what he did. Yeah, we know.
Yeah. Also one of the best wrestlers to ever do it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And as you and I both agree on, this is the best era of Shawn Michaels too. This 2000s era. I think he had better matches in this era than he did in the 90s era. In my opinion. So, but yeah, he gets that. He gets hard whipped into the buckle. So still selling the back. Triple H drops a couple of elbows to his back. A few of those. Triple H then gets a chair, hits a big chair shot, of course, which again Sean sells beautifully. Just kind of the arching and then kind of the collapse. Like it's really good. The way he sells everything is great. Triple H goes for a suplex. But Sean tries to fight back, whips Triple H, but Triple H hits the kind of the catch knee, knocks him back down. Triple H then gets a DDT on the chair. As JR at this point, he's great in this match, by the way, too. This is the highlight of the show for him because he does a great job kind of selling everything to this thing of just like, just stay down, Sean. Just think of your family. Just stay down.
You've done enough. You were good. You came back. I'm like,
came back, you're brave. We all know what you done, Sean. Just stay there. Think of your family. Just don't do it, Sean. Yeah, he's great. Really good stuff. Takes off Sean's leather belt, whips him a couple of times with it, gets the belt buckle, and he's opening up Sean with it. So it's a weird thing where Sean bleeds first in this match, but by the end of the match, there's no blood on him at all. Like I guess it just stopped. It's just gone.
It just wipes off. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just not bleeding anymore because he bleeds at first, but there's nothing there later. Triple H has a hard time finding his sledgehammer, but once he eventually finds it under the ring, he grabs it, brings it in. Hebner tries to again interfere and make him let go of it. Again, why? This is unsanctioned. You shouldn't be doing anything. Hebner,
he's like, cut it off. He's like, well, Hebner has a heart. I don't care if he has a heart. You clearly signed up to referee this match where there's no rules. So you got to deal. You got to deal with it.
And it's unsanctioned, so it's not like you have an obligation to stop anything. Anyways, you're not responsible for it. You or Eric Bischoff are not responsible for anything that's happened in this match. Your job is only there to, count the pinfall or stop the match if one of them wants to stop the match. That's it. So. Yeah. But anyways, they have an argument kind of back and forth, a little shoving match, and he's doing this whole like knock it off, the hammer, the chair, knock it off. Like this whole
Mhm.
silly shit. But anyways, they both eventually find themselves up top. Sean fights Triple H off of there. He then excuse me, Triple H eventually pushes Hebner into the ropes again, and Sean gets crushed there. As he's laying kind of upside down, kind of leaned over in the turnbuckle. Triple H hits him again in the back with a chair. That was a nice little spot. And then, yeah, in a great spot, he sets up the chair in the middle of the ring, folds it out, and then drops Sean with like a backbreaker on the chair that folds the chair up. It's awesome. That was
Yeah.
great. Like kind of half breaks it. Really, really good pop for that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's one of the memorable spots in the match. I remember that when I think of this match, I remember that spot. I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've seen this match a bunch of times, by the way. It was on a Triple H DVD. I think it was on a Sean DVD. I've seen this match a whole bunch of times.
Yeah, I think
But
they
it's
did
still
it. I
great.
think they might have done like a hardcore, like Street Fighter kind of DVD. You know, I'd have been on that, even though it was just non-sanctioned. It might
Yeah,
have,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, good match. He hits a side slam onto the chair, but once again, only gets a 2 count. This is when JR is pleading for Sean to just stay down. Fast count him, Earl. Just fast count him. Just end the match.
Oh my God, drink your family.
Look at your family. He goes for the pedigree, but then Sean just breaks out of it and straight up just low blows Triple H right in the middle of everything. And
Yeah.
hey, no rules, why not? So go for it. And where did my other paper go? I lost my paper.
And yeah, Coop said his, oh my, you know, and Shawn Michaels is mangled, and Triple H might be mangled after that shot. I'm like, I don't want to think about that.
And I'm completely missing a whole page of my notes. I don't know where it went. Good God, I was just disappeared in the ether. But I've got a way to pull it up. But yeah, so hang on. I apologize. I've completely misplaced an entire page of my notes. I had 5 pages. Where did they go? Da-da-da. That's all right. I'll get it back up here in a second. Sorry for the delay. Da-da-da-da-da. I've got another way I can get this though. So, okay. Anyways, so yeah, after the side slam onto there, yeah. So, yeah, he goes for that. Hunter, after the low blow, excuse me. Both guys are down. Hunter goes to grab the chair, but this is where it turns around because Sean super kicks the chair into his face. Kind of gets a
What a
bit
gusher! He comes
yeah,
out.
eventually hit a gusher on that because Triple H cut himself pretty good on this one. So now Hunter's bleeding all over the place, and so he hits the flying form and kip up, and then when he kips up, this crowd just goes bananas. Like the crowd
Well,
is going crazy for this.
and Jay was like, "Oh my God, he kept
Oh
up."
my God, he kept up. He's great. Yeah, the crowd's going crazy, loving this. He eventually gets a chair shot to Triple H, so he's back in control here. But Triple H did get his hands up, by the way. He took the hand up chair shot, so he's all right. They go to the floor. Michaels goes to work on him outside with the belt and a trash can. They're chanting, "We want tables." But he takes off Hugo Savanovich's boot and hits him with his boot. That was funny. Just hit him with everything he could find. And then there was a cool spot where he pulls the stairs kind of out, and the bottom part of the stairs he kind of positions, and he does a circle all the way around the ring, and eventually hits a bulldog on Triple H on the steel steps. That was pretty cool. He pulls a ladder out from under the ring. Crowd's going crazy for it. Battering rams it into the head, and then he does a catapult into the ladder on the outside. Back into the ring, goes for a cover, only gets a 2 count. Hunter eventually baseball slides the ladder into Michaels as they're kind of going back and forth. Eventually, Sean gets a superplex for a 2 count, then counters and gets a sunset flip for another 2 count. But Hunter fights and hits a big high knee to cut him off there. He brings part of the steel steps into the ring, and they do the spot that him and Mick Foley did when Foley was handcuffed, where Sean drop toe holds him and he kind of falls and hits his head on the steps and kind of does the little pop up there. Yeah, they did that in the street fight that we love so much. But yeah, he clotheslines Hunter to the outside and sets up a table on the outside, hits him with a fire extinguisher. Doesn't spray him with it, just straight up just hits him with a fire extinguisher. Lays him out on the table, and then Sean goes up to the top turnbuckle, and from the top turnbuckle to the outside splashes Triple H through the table. Crowd again is just going absolutely nuts. They chant "Holy shit!" He sets up a ladder in the ring, and then inside the ring, Michaels goes up to the top rope, drops the huge elbow drop from the top. Crowd is just shaking the building. They're going crazy for it. He goes, this is a great finish too, because he sets it up. He tunes up the band. He goes for Sweet Chin Music. Hunter ducks, kicks him in the gut, goes for the pedigree, but Michaels yanks the legs, flips over with the cover. 1, 2, 3, and he gets the pin. Crowd is jumping up and down. They're going absolutely crazy for Sean here. But of course, that asshole Triple H, that dastardly Triple H, he hits Sean, cuts him off mid-celebration, hits him in the back with the sledgehammer, not once, but twice to lay him out as the doctors and the paramedics come in. This is where JR just was totally, that son of a bitch is gonna rot in hell. What a garbage, what a horrible human being. Just no conscience whatsoever, Triple H. Damn you, Triple H. Damn you, Triple H.
Damn you. You could end his career. He could be out. He could be out until the Survivor Series.
Yeah. So he's going absolutely crazy here. So JR was great here. He was great on the sell. Again, Shawn Michaels in this match is brilliant. He has great selling. They told a great story through this whole thing with Shawn, getting the ups and downs, trying to fight back. Triple H was a proper asshole throughout this whole thing. They had some good, big spots. The finish was great, with the counters of the things into the the roll up. Just an awesome match. Yeah, I remember this match almost beat for beat, but it still really, really works as a great storytelling match. And certainly, I would understand if somebody put this in like kind of a match of the year candidate. It's really, really good.
Yeah, no, it is really good. I also thought maybe the baseball slide spot where Triple H does it, but I thought that might have been a bit of an homage to the really good Triple H Rock ladder match from SummerSlam 98, where Triple H does that to the Rock. And that was pretty cool. But it's a really, really good match, and just really, really sets up sort of a blood feud because these guys they'd feud like on and off for a few years. So this is a really, really good match. Probably the best on the show.
Yeah, no, really good. Yeah, because they would have like that Armageddon 3 Stages of Hell match. They had a last man standing at Royal Rumble that had a bad finish where they were both down and both got counted out. That was a bad finish. The crowd booed and chanted bullshit. They would have kind of random encounters, throughout the years, and eventually they would have the triple threat, at WrestleMania 20. That. So, but I like the fact they kind of kept coming back to it. Even they had a little mini kind of, a little bit of restarted in the Elimination Chamber 2 in 2002 when Shawn won the title. He beat Triple H for the title. So it works.
Yeah. I remember they even when they were actually buddy, they were like, oh, can that? Well, they will. I think they were in a triple threat with John Cena one time. I think it was Survivor Series. They're like, oh, will Shawn and Triple H, end up wrestling each other, will they, like how long it'll be till they fight each other for this, and then it's still the funniest moment of all. They're all three are in the ring. The bell rings, and immediately Triple H kicks Shawn Michaels kicks Triple H.
Shawn super kicks Triple H immediately. Yeah.
Pulled out the ring. It's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've seen that spot a bunch of times. It's very funny. This is a great match. So go out and ready to watch it if you've never seen it. It's really, really good. Good stuff here. And then we get probably the low point of the show, but at least it isn't a match. Howard Finkel then says, he gets on the mic, before we move on, I have some things to say. And this was, I had forgotten there was like a little couple of months where there was like a heel Howard Finkel. This was so stupid.
With Lillian Garcia.
It's just, things will change, the MLB can go on strike, but you'll always have the Fink, yada, yada. Trish Stratus eventually comes in, calls her and everybody else Long Island Skanks. but she kind of, entices him a little bit. She goes, "Oh, Howard, I didn't know, I didn't realize what a sexy voice you have," sort of thing. And and he's like, "Oh, this is a pleasant surprise." They hug each other, and she's like, "Well, that's not the real surprise. The real surprise is Lillian Garcia." And Lillian Garcia jumps in the ring. She slaps Finkel. She low blows him, and her and Trish celebrate. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Not as dumb as it sounds.
What a great thing.
It's not good.
There's no women's match on the show, by the way. That was a women's segment.
That was it. That was it for the females. Yep, nothing there. We aren't quite into the women's division yet. I think late 2002 into 2003, it would finally start kind of getting going. With Trish, Lita, Victoria comes in, Jazz. Eventually Gail Kim. They start to get a Molly Holly. They eventually get a women's division going. Eventually. Yeah. But we're not there yet. We're not there, Richie. Can't have a women's match on this show. So we get to our main event of the evening. It is for the undisputed title, and it is Rock versus Brock is how they bill it. Your champion, The Rock, who wins in that Vengeance three-way that you mentioned with him, Kurt Angle and Taker. That's a great match, by the way.
That match rules. I like when they get to the point where they're just spamming each other. I mean, like
each other's finishers. Yeah,
they're stealing each other's finishes.
Yeah, like Undertaker hits like an angle slam on Angle. Angle hits like a rock bottom. Rock's hitting choke slams. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun match. Yeah, that match is a lot of fun. I think I had that DVD at one point. It's a good match. But yeah, Brock is of course a rising star. He debuts earlier in the year. He won the King of the Ring. Beating RVD in the finals of the King of the Ring. So he's up and coming. He is working his way through the roster. He even put his King of the Ring shot on the line against Hulk Hogan on SmackDown in that kind of famous match where he like bear hugged Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan was like spitting up blood. Yeah, and makes him pass out, hits him with a chair because they teased that maybe they would do Rock Hogan again or something like that. But no, Brock defeats Hogan. He moves on to SummerSlam here, and hey, what a concept, Richie! A guy that wins King of the Ring and demands his title shot at SummerSlam. What a concept,
Yeah. Like, did you hear over Femi's reasoning? By the way, that why he didn't he threw away his title shot. He goes, "Oh, you guys are going to just we all know you guys are going to interfere anyway." I'm like, well, who gives a shit? You're supposed to be this big ruler. You should be able to, I don't know. You're a badass. Just deal with it. I don't want it to be interfered with, so I'm just not going to be able to have a title shot. What the fuck?
Yeah, when has anybody ever been concerned with that? If you're that concerned with it, talk to Adam Pearce and have him ban anybody from ringside or they get fired. I mean, it seems like there's solutions to this. I don't know. Fucking, you're a big star now. Hire the fucking APA to stand on the outside of the ring and make sure nobody interferes. I don't know. Do something.
There's things. Things you can do. Like Ted DiBiase said. That everyone's got a price. Just
pay some people to watch your back for the night. Who cares? Sure, somebody will do it. So. I don't know. Yeah, it's silly shit. But yeah, Brock, in that case, I think Hogan laid out a challenge. And, so Brock was confident enough to be like, yeah, I'll put my title shot up on the line. But then he won. He looked strong. He beat Hulk Hogan and, kept his title shot and then gets his title shot here, So, imagine
that. Because Hulk Hogan was definitely advertised for the global warning tour. I had a T-shirt at one point with his. And he was on this thing, but I guess it wouldn't be surprised me. He just decided, I'm done for a while because he just wasn't on the tour. And then Brock, who wasn't advertised initially, because he was on, I guess moving over to SmackDown, showed up. So it ended up being Brock, Rock, and Triple H, and then. In the match, but I think Hulk Hogan was meant to be on the global warning tour, which is just before SummerSlam. So not sure what happened there.
But yeah, Rock is your champ. Rock versus Brock. And I should say the crowd, they try to sell it like the crowd is kind of split 50-50, but to me it sounds like a 70-30 for Brock in this one, Richie.
I think it was one of those things where you know how like well, we referenced before. You know how like I'm pretty sure that the crowd were pissed off with Brock because they knew and Goldberg because they knew they both were leaving.
Hmm.
I think I think they probably knew that Rock was leaving for a bit after this.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you're leaving. Fuck you, go away.
Well,
And
that and just, I think it's also, sometimes, crowds, especially in New York, will get behind a hot new star that is like dominating people and they like to see that shit, and see, a new star get made. But yeah, there could be a little bit of that Rock resentment that he's going off to make another movie or so. I think he was going off to make the rundown, I think. So,
yeah, but
yeah.
I think he, from what I read, he even tried at the end to do like a rock sing along, and he got frustrated, and he was just like, you know what, rock sing along is cancelled, and 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 then they just brought him back as a heel, which is probably a good idea.
Well, no, he came back and it was kind of justified. He came back and he was like, "Yeah, y'all booed me. Like y'all booed the Rock. You turn on the Rock, and now I don't give a shit about y'all. So and now
And
I
he,
yes." And he came back and he's like, "Yes, I'm Hollywood Rock. I'm in Hollywood now. Screw all of you.
and that
I'm
was my
making
favorite
movies."
version of the Rock. That was fucking great.
And Hollywood Rock was amazing in 2003. That was great.
He was so good.
Yeah, he was so proud of himself. That's what I loved about him. His character was just so great, amazed with himself. He's great. Yeah, no, it turned into a good thing. So sometimes you can run with things and it's fine. But anyways, here we go. We get things going very hot. Brock enters first. Rock comes out, but yeah, he doesn't do his typical entrance. He just fires himself up. He rushes the ring, goes after Brock. So a couple of right hands, but Brock immediately almost cuts that off and hits a huge overhead belly suplex. The crowd pops for that. Crowd is super hot for this match, just like they were for the opener and the last one. Again, because they're super into Brock, and they're hyped for it, and they can kind of feel it in the air that he's probably going to win tonight. So yeah, they're popping for everything Brock does here. He hits multiple. Backbreakers, kind of that repeating sort of backbreaker that he would do, as he'd carry and pick him up, put him down, pick him up, put him down. Hits those big shoulder thrusts in the corner. Heyman on the outside gets a cheap kick. He's always kind of cheap, he's cheap shotting Rock kind of throughout this match. Cheap shot here, cheap shot there, choke here, choke there, things like that. Once again, take a shot because Brock on the outside, gorilla presses Rock onto a barricade. So once again, we're spamming that again. But inside the ring hits another big overhead belly to belly suplex. Rock tries to fight back, goes to hit the ropes. Heyman trips him and then chokes him on the outside as Brock grabs the referee. Rock again tries to fight back, but he runs right into a huge power slam for Brock Lesnar. A big power slam, looked really nice. Again, crowd pops for that, pretty big. Get some more shoulder charges in the corner. They both are down as they collide into each other, but they do a double nip up and the crowd pop for that because they both did it at the same time. That was a great spot. Rock goes for a couple of clotheslines, but he can't take Brock down, but eventually hits a DDT for a 2 count as the crowd is audibly chanting, "Let's go Lesnar, let's go Lesnar," and Rocky sucks chants, "Let's go Lesnar." They're big into Brock. Again, there is some Rock love, but I would call it like 70-30 for Brock, like with the crowd.
Yeah,
They're in.
and you know, usually like in that, like I think a lot of the Rock Club was like probably like women and children, and if you're in an environment where it's women, but it's like like drunk like dudes, I think the dudes are going to overpower you with the voice.
Well, and you know what I compare it to actually is Survivor Series 96, which I watched with Malcolm on Spirit from the Past. It was a very similar situation. If you look at that main event that I talked to you guys about, that we did when Psycho Sid died, and we did his match at SummerSlam 96 against Shawn Michaels with Sid and Shawn. That was at Madison Square Garden, and it was the same situation where the women and children loved Shawn, but like all the dudes in Madison Square Garden were all cheering for Sid every time he was beating the shit out of Shawn, and it was awesome. So like it made for a great crowd because they were into Sid and everybody else was into Shawn. It was great.
It's interesting how Sid was like Sid throughout his career was over as babyface when he shouldn't have been. There was multiple times where I think we watched a WCW pay per view where the crowd, like I think when he was in the skyscrapers where the crowd he just wanted Dan Spider to tag in Sid and it was just
Yeah,
like
they were just we want Sid, like over and over again. Yeah, they
just
just
like it was. He just had this connection with like the dudes in the crowd.
yeah, yeah. Well, and that night, I think again they were just over Pretty Boy Sean and just wanted to see somebody beat the shit out of him. And he did. It was great, and that was like Sid's best match ever was against Sean. I mean, big surprise. But anyways, I'm getting outside. But it's just similar situation, New York. Kind of a similar situation here. But yeah, Heyman hops up on the apron, but Rock goes over and punches him. But Rock goes back to Brock, puts him in the sharpshooter. But Brock tries to eventually gets the ropes on that one. Heyman once again jumps up on top to kind of interfere. Rock gets fed up with him, throws him inside. He goes for a rock bottom on Heyman, but Brock clubs the Rock. Ref then is with Heyman. There was a chair there that Heyman was able to kind of slip to Brock, hits Rock in the gut with it, and then he puts on a bear hug, the same one that he put on Hulk Hogan, pulls him into a suplex, and then puts a ground bear hug on him, and they do the whole like the arms dropping, with the bear hug.
They don't do that much anymore. They do. Oh, you passed out. Okay.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Shouldn't you do the arm thing? I think the arm thing is like, yeah, that would be more
And
dramatic.
the arm spot's cool because it's like you get the sort of the hulking up spot, which I like. Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. And when Rock does it in this match, he audibly does it and goes, "You can't fucking stop the Rock." He says it very audibly. He's cussing left and right in this match. He's like, "You fucking people, shut the fuck up!" Like this whole thing. Like he's dropping F bombs left and right very
Yeah,
audibly.
yeah.
It's really
I
funny.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't realize until he became like. I saw him in interviews after like wrestling. That he likes swearing. That dude. Anyway,
He sure
that's
does. So he goes to work on Brock as he fights back, kind of punches him. Heyman's with the ref again. Rock just blatantly low blows Brock right behind the ref's back. But Brock, even after that, fires back up on Rock with the shoulder charges. Again, it's a really fiery, like just back and forth. Rock tries to then hit the House of Fire on Brock. He punch, hits the big kind of super punch over the top rope onto the outside. Rock goes to set up the announce table. He catapults Lesnar into the post, who takes a really nice bump, kind of leaps forward and hits kind of the top of the post. And then Rock goes back over to Heyman and Rock bottoms him through the Spanish announce table. That was the one time where they did pop for the Rock because they wanted to see Heyman get hit, so that's fine. They were happy about that. He goes through there. Back in the ring, Rock gets the rock bottom to Brock Lesnar, but Brock kicks out at 2. Rock can't believe it, wonders what he's got to do. The crowd is standing up. Like if you look at the crowd, they're on their feet, anticipating that it's going to be over soon. They both get back up, but Brock pulls in Rock and hits what they call a Brock bottom. it's a rock bottom on the Rock, but he only gets a 2 count. They both fight back up. Spine buster to Brock Lesnar. Crowd's booing as Rock goes for the people's elbow, but it was an awesome spot because as he hit the rope the second time, Brock kips up, pops up, hits a huge lariat on the Rock. Big pop for that. He goes for the F5, but Rock's able to counter out of it. He goes for a rock bottom. Brock counters out of that, then pulls him up, finally hits the F5. 1, 2, 3, and your new undisputed champion is Brock Lesnar. Yeah, those final couple minutes are really hot. They're great. And hey, remember when an F5 finished somebody, Richie? I remember.
I was literally about to say the same thing. I'm like, oh, 1 F5. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then, now it's just like the move doesn't mean much at all. Like, oh, he kicked out of 7 F5s. Oh my god.
Hey, in this match, they protected this finisher for a while. I mean, when he hit it, that was like a big deal, unless something happened afterwards to where like there was a delay or somebody interfered or whatever. But they protected the F5 for a little while, especially during this initial run. Yeah,
it's a cool looking because I hadn't seen that finisher like that before, and it's a cool looking finisher. And so it's just a shame that it's sort of been watered down because it does look cool. It looks like Devastate. So I did like spamming it in the games because it looked kind of cool. But I enjoyed the finish here, and just great star-making performance. I do like how they've gone back to the King of the Ring being the SummerSlam thing. So, I mean, in theory, but hopefully next year they stick to their stipulation, especially with the men in it anyway. But this was definitely a huge success, and what are, what are we now? Like 23 years later, Brock is still a huge star. Like not across like even people who aren't wrestling fans really know who Brock Lesnar is. So.
No, and it's funny, yeah, we're literally 24 years later, and Brock is wrestling at this year's SummerSlam against the King of the Ring, winner. It's kind of an opposite thing, where Brock was the King of the Ring winner at the time, the young one, and now you have the younger King of the Ring winner going against the established, superstar. And yeah, dude's still, essentially main eventing SummerSlams, 24 years later. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and you could see. I mean, yeah, and this was probably Brock's last match as a full-time guy, and this could, I mean, Brock's SummerSlam coming out because it's in Minnesota. It could be Brock's last SummerSlam, so it's kind of poetic that way.
Yeah, it's a weird funny that we spun this because it's a lot of kind of parallels. With the young hot guy who's like kind of undefeated and running through everybody, and it's a similar situation here. So with Oba kind of undefeated, not totally undefeated, he's been beaten once by Brock, but essentially kind of the same thing. But yeah, running through everybody, and just a weird kind of some weird parallels here with that. And we also got a New York show coming up. There's a Madison Square Garden show coming up like this weekend, and this was a Madison Square Garden, but it was a New York show. So a lot of weird coincidences here. So, but it's fun. So overall, again, I think this is an excellent show. You have three very standout matches. You have the opening match we talked about is a contender for one of the best opening matches ever, just on any pay-per-view. It's great. It's like a perfect, 9-10 minute opener. It's amazing. That still gets you going. And you have a great storytelling, kind of story based. Street fight, with Triple H and HBK, where they told a great story. There's great selling, good commentary. Everything kind of comes together with a dramatic match. And then, you have a hot main event, where I think Rock and Brock realized they needed to have like a little faster paced thing after Triple H and Shawn. Yeah, but it makes sense because they had a more kind of dramatic laid out match. But they had the main event is like very fast. There's almost no downtime. Like they're very quick, big moves. The crowd is super hot, which adds to it. But even the rest of the show, the mid card, you have a lot of really good workers on this mid card. Nothing quite as good as those three, but there's not a single bad match on this card, Richie, like at all. I think every match on this show, is at least good. And some of them are pretty damn good. And so, you have really nothing bad on this card at all. I think it's a damn solid SummerSlam. You have a good book ended with the opener and the ending, and then kind of a match of the year candidate in between. So, hell of a SummerSlam, man, and definitely a contender for one of the best ones ever. This is pretty easy, sort of 9 out of 10 territory. If you had like maybe one other, kind of really, really good match, I could maybe bump it up a little bit more. But even then, like, there's no bad matches, and you have some really great standout ones. So great show overall.
Yeah, definitely did a good job presenting itself as like a very special show as like one of the the big, well it was the big four, with and it's definitely one of my favorite SummerSlams of all time. I don't know, have we ranked SummerSlams before? I don't know, we have.
I don't know. We did a a while back, we did a SummerSlam draft where we drafted matches, from all the SummerSlams. We've done that before, and I remember that one. Kurt Angle and Rey Mysterio as the opener was a hot opening draft, kind of pick. And a couple of these main events we looked at were pretty good. But
we've ranked WrestleManias. I know we did a tier ranker for WrestleManias, but just I don't know if we've done SummerSlams. That could be an idea. It's maybe
at some point I would have to revisit a decent amount of them. I don't remember a lot of details about as much as I do WrestleMania.
We might do that way. Because of like if we're like do the spin the wheel, we'll just get through it that way. I guess we don't have to necessarily even need to be near SummerSlam or watch SummerSlam. Just could be like if you have a spare week, like hey, let's just watch a retro show. But this is really good show, and like just a sort of a dawning. I don't really like to say new era, but this was sort of a dawning of a new era, which is ruthless aggression, which still was a for the most part a decent era. Just it kind of got rocky towards the end there, it did fit.
Yeah, Fern. Listen, Fern. Look, we know SmackDown was actually probably the better brand around the time with Ruthless Aggression. They had the better roster. They had the more work rate show, and Raw had maybe the bigger angles and whatnot, but it had the not as good wrestling. We know, Fern. We get it.
And you
I
know,
know.
we know, yeah. And I mean, at ECW that doesn't really count. That wasn't. It was just that was a mistake. So yeah, no, it was really good show, and I was happy to, even though hadn't I watched it kind of recently ish, then it was I was happy to watch it again. So yeah, no, really solid show.
Yeah, good stuff overall. So check it out if you haven't. Yeah, it's worth going out where you see. Yeah, and if you want to skim around it, definitely the opener is worth your time, and the final two matches are definitely worth your time. So go out of your way to check it out. But yeah, we'll wrap it up there. So big thumbs up to SummerSlam 2002. We'll see how this SummerSlam pans out. And of course, probably still got some more matches to announce as we kind of get geared up for it. Next week we'll do our predictions for AEW predictable. I mean AEW Redemption. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I meant to say Redemption.
AEW, fuck, we forgot.
AEW Unnecessary.
We introduced a new pay per view, and we gave away the match or that was marquee match on TV. Shit.
Yeah. Shit. Now we gotta figure out a card. So yeah, we'll see what else they add. They should add some more stuff either on Collision or on next week's Dynamite. So we'll see what they add and we'll talk about it. And then they should be obviously still adding stuff to SummerSlam because we only got 6 confirmed and they got 2 nights. So that's only one night's worth of cards. So they gotta announce a whole another batch of stuff. So we'll see what gets announced down the pipeline. But anything you want to plug real quick before we get out of here, Richie?
Wheel of Movies will be back next week. We're doing a tribute episode in honor of the late great Sam Neill. And we're going to be talking about Event Horizon. So just a horror sort of classic there. Look, and we don't do the obvious ones like Jurassic Park's on the wheel like 10 times. It will come up. And
I want to highlight Sam Neill's horror pedigree because he's kind of a low-key king of horror, and I love that about him. So yeah, we'll talk about that on the show. Yeah, how many horror movies he did. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm actually fun fact, I'm using him as a strength. I'm going to watch a couple of movies. I'm using him as a strength for Why We Love Horror match coming up.
Because I guess if he has at least 6, it counts, right? So
so he can't. Yeah, so I'm using him there, and speaking of Why We Love Horror, I'm in the Louise Bob farewell tourney. I'm in the second round there, I'm actually recording that soon. I believe me and you are in the Clippity match as well. It should be recording. So work out when we're recording that. I think on a Monday. I think looks like, but we'll see what happens. So that should be fun. Hopefully, I'm quick on the draw this time. That Jeremy Potter's man.
Well, he a little bit of a spoiler, but he just got me in Jeopardy. So every time I'm on with him, it's a tough go. So yeah.
But no, it should be fun nevertheless. That's pretty much me.
Cool. I got a couple things this weekend and next week. The monthly mistake drinking game with me and Wolfman comes back this week. July 4th, we did Jaws 3 and 4 initially, but it's then just become like bad shark movie, month when we get there. So we did Shark Night 3D last year. This year we're doing Shark Attack 3 Megalodon, which has one of the more some pretty infamous stuff in it. So
easy to do, by the way.
Yeah.
There's
an endless supply of bad shark movies. That's one good thing about it. Yeah.
There's one with Brooke Hogan and RVD. I think it's called Two-headed shark attack.
Two-headed shark attack. They got up to like 6 heads, I think. They kept that series going for a little while. But yeah, so we're doing Shark Attack 3 Megalodon on Saturday. Then I'll be on Rankum. We're going a little earlier on Rankum on Sunday, ranking Evil Dead movies, or doing just ranking the franchise. And then that'll lead. Was that?
That's gonna be difficult. They're all good.
Yeah, I know. It's a franchise with no bad movies, so that's tough. So I'm gonna have to get like nitpicky with that one. But we'll see what happens. And then that'll lead into our podcast that night at 9 p.m. That evening. Richard will be there. Malcolm, myself, Jonathan Caro, Jordan Anderson will be doing our podcast league now of our best of 2026 so far. So, and I've got a lot of shit vying for the top spot, and I haven't even seen the Odyssey yet, which I'm seeing tomorrow. So that's probably going to make the list. Jesus. Based on what I'm hearing, I'm hearing damn good things. So I'm excited to see it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Like, son of a bitch, I have to see that before then, and it's going to add to my list. It's going to muck up the whole list again. Jesus. So we'll see what happens there. And then, we'll get back into tournament fights and tier ranker next week. And like Richie said, we'll honor Sam Neill next week with a little Event Horizon on the movie. So that's what we got coming up. So busy week, but should be a fun one. So thanks everybody who tuned in. We appreciate that. And we'll wrap it up there, and hopefully JP will return next week, and we'll talk some AEW. So so for Richie, I've been Austin Pez Howell, and we'll see you guys next time on The Lonely Marks. Bye.